Tampa Bay's offense continued to click on all cylinders last night, hammering out double-digit hits for the third consecutive night, leading to a 7-3 victory. Tonight, Jake Odorizzi takes the hill, looking to push the Rays' win streak to 4. We welcome you to O.Co Coliseum as the Rays take on the Oakland Athletics in Game 2 of a 4-game series from the other Bay Area on the West Coast. Tampa Bay winners last night 7-3 will try to make it 2 in a row against the A's and 4 in a row overall. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Todd Callis filling in for Dwayne Stats this series alongside Brian Anderson. BA not only had the Rays won 3 in a row and 4 out of 5, but in their last 3 games, all of a sudden, we have seen quite a productive offense.
Yeah, listen, this is a team. The Tampa Bay Rays lead Major League Baseball since the All-Star break with 41 runs. A big reason why the work that they've done in the last 3 ball games, and they have put together some big innings. That has been the name of the game. You go back to the Colorado series. Game 2, it was a 5-run inning that blew it open. Game 3, another 5-run inning that blew it open. And in last night's game, it was a 4-run inning that blew the ball game open. That's what you love about this team. Yes, they've sprinkled in some home runs, and that's always going to be a part of their game. But they have had those long, sustained innings, putting things together, scoring multiple runs. You got to love it, and hopefully they can continue that here tonight.
They have scored some runs for Jake Odorizzi on the road. We'll see if that continues as well. The first pitch in 3 minutes. It'll be the Rays and the A's from Oakland coming up next. night tonight in Oakland, California, where the Rays look to make it 4 in a row. They are on a solid run right now on this road trip, taking on the Oakland Athletics. Here are your starting lineups, brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers for the Rays. Logan Forsythe in that leadoff spot. Brandon Guyer will get a start against the lefty today at bat second. Evan Longoria 3. Steve Pearce gets a start at first base after the day off yesterday. Steven Souza Jr. in right field. Corey Dickerson is the DH for the Rays. Tim Beckham, the red-hot shortstop, at 7th. And Kevin Kiermaier and Luke Bailey round out your Rays lineup against a rookie left-hander.
Well, they'll be going up against the left-hander, Sean Manaea, making his 13th start of the season. As you look at his season numbers, it's been an inconsistent year for Sean, but I'll tell you, his last 2 outings, covering 12 innings, he's given up just 2 earned runs. A big reason why, no walks. Limit the extra base runners. You put yourself in position to have a nice outing. Let's take a look at that Oakland A's defense and see how it's going to line up here tonight. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, we have Coco Crisp, Jake Smolinski, and Josh Reddick. Across that infield, third to first, Ryan Healy, Arizmendi, Alcantara, and Jed Lowry, and Yonder Alonso, with Stephen Vogt back behind the plate.
Bob Melvin, in his 5th full season as the manager of the Oakland Athletics, took over on an interim basis back in the 2011 season. You can see his year 6 total, including that interim year. His record is .435 and .408. Kevin Cash, in his 2nd year as the skipper of the Rays, has seen his team really play much better baseball since the All-Star break. Even though they lost those first couple of games coming out of the break against Baltimore, they were competitive games, and we have seen that carry over on this road trip in Colorado and Oakland.
Absolutely, and a big reason why we talked about in the open the offense, but the pitching staff's been getting it done. You think about what the starters have done recently, putting themselves in good position to win games.
Logan Forsythe has been on a nice little run here during this road trip. 3 straight multi-hit games. He will lead things off against Manaea. The first pitch is a fastball for a called strike, 0-1.
First pitch, 7:07.
Manaea will feature that fastball in the mid-90s, along with a slider and a changeup. And there's a bullet to center field, but moving over to make the play for the first out of this game is Jake Smolinski. And Forsythe hits the ball hard and has nothing to show for it.
Well, Logan Forsythe's been hitting the ball hard for a while. I mean, he's such a consistent performer up at the top of that lineup for the Rays, a tremendous approach, and that's all you can do. You hit it hard, and more times than not, you figure it's going to find a hole. That one did not.
Brandon Guyer is the hitter, did not get a start last night in the opening game of this series, a game the Rays won 7-3. They were down 3-2 at one point and scored the last 5 runs of the game. Guyer takes a called strike, 0-1.
You can see how Manaea, out there on the mound has that lower arm angle, trying to create some deception from the release point.
He's 6'5", but he really drops down and delivers it from a very low slide.
From where I was, my size. Little guy out there. Yeah, big body, but that low 3/4 arm angle. I tell you, it helps him with the changeup against right-handed hitters. Get that good fading action. As you take a look at his delivery, tries to keep everything simple, and there's that arm and release point, and it helps him with the slider against the left-handed hitter. There's the changeup right there. But you think about that arm angle, a slider against a lefty.
Right.
It feels like he's right on top of you anyway, and then he can sweep that pitch all the way across the plate.
And he's all angled over on that first base side of the rubber as Brandon Guyer rolls one to short. Alcantara makes the play. Strange not seeing Marcus Semien out there. He has made 96 starts in 96 games at shortstop for the A's. And finally, Bob Melvin said, time to get a breather. And so...
Yeah, so we get Arizmendi Alcantara. I had to practice that name in the bathroom, Todd.
Yes.
Coming out for the defense.
Not earlier today at the hotel, just now, right?
Yeah, just now.
Okay, good. That would be a little bit overdoing it. Here's Evan Longoria riding a 5-game hitting streak. Longoria's numbers are just silly right now, and he continues to hit the ball at a phenomenal clip, up to 290 on the year. With those team leading everything, runs scored, home runs, doubles, RBIs, slugging percentage.
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
As hot as Evan has been, and it seems like it's been for a very long time, what does it take to hit 300 in this league? How does he not got the 300? The way he's swinging the bat.
It's a good question, because he's doing that. He's not chasing pitches.
Yep.
0-2 fastball away when he's struggled in the past. That's a pitch he might have gone after.
And you know what? He does that and has the tendency to do that when the team is struggling. And all of a sudden he starts expanding his zone because he feels so much responsibility.
Good pitch right there. Slider in on the hands of Evan Longoria. And that does it for the Rays. The first strong start to the game for Sean Manaea. Scoreless heading to the bottom half. First inning as we take a look at our Southern Ford lineups for the Oakland A's. Coco Crisp will lead things off. Josh Reddick bats second for the first time this year. Chris Davis, the cleanup hitter. Stephen Vogt, the catcher. Jed Lowry is the second baseman. Jake Smolensky in center. Yonder Alonso at first. Ryan Healy at third. And Arizmendi Alcantara is the shortstop for the first time today.
Taking the mound tonight here for the Tampa Bay Rays, right-hander Jake Odorizzi making his 21st start of the season. 4-5 record, 4.39 ERA. See the numbers right there. Jake looking to even that record up. Had a very strong outing his last time out against the Orioles. Went 6 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, and picking up that 4th win.
Coco Crisp will try and bunt. Bare hand by Odorizzi and a fine play by the Rays right-hander.
Oh, that was outstanding hop off of the mound. And the thing about that play, too, is you're blind. You know, right-handed, you're going down to barehand that. You're turning and throwing where you know first base is, but you don't have a whole lot of time with Crisp running to be able to look and gather in first base. So you got to get it, turn, and throw all in one motion. That's a great job by Jake. Nice start to this ball game. As
good as Evan Longoria is on those plays, I'm not sure if he makes that play with Crisp running.
I don't think he does it all. I think that was a do-or-die play for Jake Odorizzi. You got to cleanly barehanded, and like I said, you've got to turn and throw in one motion. You don't have time to find first base and then make the throw. Crisp was already there.
Josh Reddick hitting second tonight. This is the equivalent of Evan Longoria hitting second for the Rays. He has batted in the number 3 spot every game this year for Oakland that he's played in. And tonight, he moves up to the number 2 spot.
Well, you have Valencia out, Semien out. You got to make some changes.
He's been very, very good against righties this year. Jake Odorizzi on the mound with a 1-2 count. 15th time in Reddick's career he's hit second. First time this year he fouls one back to the screen. And he is claiming that maybe Luke Maile, that he hit Maile's glove. Was he looking for a catcher's interference?
I think that's exactly what they're looking at. You can see Stephen Vogt and Bob Melvin, the manager of the A's, saying that that ball or that swing hit the glove of Maile.
Hard to tell.
And hard to tell from there, but you can see, look at Mahle reaching up and out. Oh, and he did get it. Absolutely got that tip of that glove.
Joe West is the home plate umpire and the crew chief, the most veteran of all the active umpires in his 39th season. Now they're going to have a conference with the entire crew: Kerwin Danley, Andy Fletcher, Mark Ripperger.
Clear.
Yeah, that,
pretty clear.
That pretty much shows it.
Yep. This one's not bad either. You can see it just catches the webbing and forces that glove.
Nobody has the catcher's interference around the umpiring crew, so it's a 1-2 count. Down low, 2-2.
Well, it wasn't for a lack of looking.
They tried everybody.
If they just would have asked us, but we probably wouldn't have told them because go against the Rays.
Just misses the outside corner. Now the count runs full. Odorizzi has some really strange numbers against the AL West. This year, not so good at all. But over his career, really likes pitching against the AL West on the road. His two favorite places to pitch are Tropicana Field and anywhere that the AL West plays. Look at that. 6-0, or 6 starts, 2-0, 178. And then this year, the AL West has beat him up a little bit. Here's a pop fly foul. A lot of open space here, but that one finds the stands in the first or second row. That's why Geyer never gave up on it.
You know, sometimes numbers like that are just unexplainable. I mean, really inexplicable.
They are.
Unless you ask Jake, say, hey, listen, is there anything to going out west that makes you feel more comfortable, something that you enjoy? Those very, very strange numbers, no question about it.
3-2 is fouled back.
And remember this, too, the way that the schedule is weighted now with all the games, you know, against the AL East, the AL West teams, and the Central for that matter, you're only going to see them, you know, one series at Tropicana Field, one series out here. See you very much.
Swing and a miss. Odorizzi gets Josh Reddick for the second out of the inning.
Well, let's set the Rays defense for you and see how they're going to line up behind Mr. Odorizzi here tonight. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we have Geyer, Kiermaier, and Souza Jr. Across that infield third to first, Evan Longoria, Tim Beckham. You got to keep him in the lineup. As not as he's been, play him everywhere. Logan Forsythe and Steve Pearce with Luke Mahle behind the plate. You got to start making up positions for Tim Beckham right now.
Short field.
Whatever. Just get the bat in the lineup.
First pitch is a called strike to Chris Davis, 0-1. See Chris Davis with those 23 home runs, a lot of pop.
And it's all pop, all nothing. I mean, you saw the on-base percentage of just 284, but with damage.
The Rays have done a good job against Davis and pitching him to a 3 for 25 mark, and Odorizzi ahead 0-2 on the number 3 hitter tonight for the Oakland A's. Swing and a miss. Quick work by Odorizzi of Chris Davis. He strikes out the last 2 of the inning, and he has a 1-2-3 inning heading to the second. Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Rather tame start to late night with the Rays. A nice picture of us.
I didn't even see it.
There you go. I usually don't see it. This is a treat for me to be filling in for Dwayne because now I get to see all the little pop-ups that you guys.
I don't know if you want to see all your pop-ups.
You reference them all the time.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You have 3 that are just the greatest. The one from Arizona, the one with the headband where you're doing the profile with nothing, no shirt on, and then you with the handlebar mustache, which is the best one of all.
We have that to look forward to.
I know you hate that one.
0-2 the count on Steve Pearce. We also, on Late Night with the Rays, have some interesting little segments involving the center fielder and right fielder for Tampa Bay, Kevin Kiermaier and Steven Souza Jr. Those guys are a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, that'll be good stuff. Pearce with the count of 1-2, facing Sean Manaea, 24-year-old left-hander, making his 13th start of his career and of the season. Pearce tried to hold up, but Joe West doesn't even appeal. He said, I got you going around from home plate.
Well, this is something that Oakland has wanted Sean Manaea to do a little bit more of, and that is elevate the heater. That's what he does right here. And you see, Steve Pearce, he starts to go after it, cannot hold up as much as he tried, but they feel that would be one of those steps that a young pitcher takes to give him another weapon, another way to get big league hitters out.
Steven Souza Jr. takes a called strike, 0-1. Souza Jr. going with the little high stirrup look tonight. A little old school action.
Yeah, I think it's more athletic looking, and I love when guys do that.
You did that. You did
Love
that, right?
look. Yeah, for a long time I didn't. I'm not sure why. And then all of a sudden I went to it, and
You're like, I'm never changing.
never. They were football pants. I mean, truly they were.
Ball in the air down the line and right. Long run and no chance for Reddick. Nice catch. Yes. Good way to start the night for this crowd.
It is. And what do you think the chances are that he was thinking this early? But that's why you bring the glove. You bring the glove, you're prepared.
And then he tossed it immediately away.
He must get them a lot then. That's the only reasoning and rationale.
That's a tough field, too, with the sun setting in right. And a lot of times you'll see right fielders early in the game with sunglasses because the sun stays in right field longer there than any other part of the ballpark.
Just like Coors Field.
And tomorrow it'll be even worse because it's an earlier start. But that kid had no problem with it. Swing and a miss from Souza. A couple of strikeouts on the slider tonight from Sean Manaea, and he has struck out the last 3 batters.
Now batting, designated hitter, Corey Dickerson.
Off-speed delivery. I don't know if he yanked a changeup or that was the slider. It could have been, well, it's tough to tell from that, but regardless, it was an effective off-speed pitch, and it picked up out number 2.
2 outs, nobody on. Corey Dickerson, the batter. Last night, Dickerson had 3 different at-bats where he hit the ball the other way. Including a home run, a single, and a sacrifice fly, all to left field. That's a called strike, 0-2.
Boy, and he's feeling it right now with that fastball, letting the last couple of them really go. And this is, we saw the numbers, 179 average against left-handed hitters. That arm angle, very difficult to deal with.
Fastball away, 95. Now it's 1-2. Manaea very tough on left-handed hitters. How about this homer the opposite way? Hits the top of the scoreboard.
Look let that ball get into the strike zone, and he's got that kind of power to lift it out left center field.
Staying alive just off the end of the bat.
This is how you start to piece together a quality at bat, because that should have been and was very close to being strike 3. And you're just able to spoil it, and looking for that one mistake that Manaea may make.
Popped in the air, foul, long run, Healy, and the rookie gets there with a nice sliding catch for the final out of the inning. So another 1-2-3 inning for Sean Manaea, bottom of the second, scoreless. Visit Dodge.com. By Lazy Days RV, your RV authority. By St. Luke's Cataract and Laser Institute. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Beautiful night here in Oakland, California as the Rays take on the A's. Game 2 of this 4-game series. There are dogs in attendance. Bark of the park tonight here in Oakland. As Stephen Vogt, the former Ray, takes a called strike to start the bottom half of the second inning. Vogt still looking for his first hit of the season against his former team. He is 0 for 15 against the Rays this year. And since being an Athletic, he is just 8 for 48 in his career against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, there's something about Tampa Bay and Stephen Vogt that don't mix. He couldn't get a hit for them, and he can't get a hit against them.
That's right.
You know?
Something about being around Rays that he's uncomfortable with.
It's his kryptonite.
But look at that. 421 last 11. When the Rays aren't here, fine, no problem. They love him here in Oakland. And there's a bullet. Of course, it's right at somebody. Nice play by Steve Pearce.
Well, this is one of the side effects, benefits, if you will, of the shift. When you play the shift against somebody, you can take your first baseman and put him right on the line. And all of a sudden, right here, boom, that should be a double. And Steve Pearce is right there. Glove side makes the play.
Pearce is happy he's using his own glove tonight. He took the day off yesterday and gave his glove to Tim Beckham. Beckham had no problems with it in his first ever start at first base. This ball into left field, slicing Brandon Guyer in fair territory before he gets to the line for the second out. So Jed Lowry is retired on one pitch. Jake Odorizzi really showed some good things in his last start against Baltimore. Got out of some situations with that elevated fastball against some good hitters.
He did. You know, he had had a streak of 6 starts where things really were not going very well, and all of a sudden you're going up against the Orioles. At that point, they were in first place, you know, a team that had roughed him up the previous start that he made against them, and he went out 6 strong innings, just 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, and that's one of those games that really where you can start to build some confidence. And then you come in here, you know, against an Oakland team that, you know, on the season has struggled to score runs, and you're pitching in a nice pitcher's ballpark. You got a chance to get on a roll.
Here's Jake Smolinski for the A's. Smolinski did the only damage of the night last night against Matt Moore. He did it with 1 swing with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. He accounted for all 3 runs, and that was it. Moore settled in and did not allow anything else. The ball was hit well, and there was some synchronized leaping at the wall between a couple of the Rays. They're seeing a little bit more of Smolinski, of Ryan Healy. Oakland's at that point now where they want to see what these guys have in the 2nd half.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out what is this team going to look like going forward. What's our core going to be?
Nicely to his left, the always smooth Evan Longoria makes the play as Smolinski grounds out, and Jake Odorizzi has retired the first 6. Pitchers have retired the first 6 they have faced. Beckham in our Toyota Keys to Success has put himself in the record books with 8 consecutive hits and 9 consecutive plate appearances reaching base, both tied Rays records with 2 others. Takes a pitch away for ball 1. Beckham, as you saw in the 6th inning, had that streak snapped. He was ahead of the count 3-0 in that final at bat. Borderline pitch called a strike, or he could have had the mark to himself for plate appearances reaching 10 straight. Counts 1-1. And this is a guy who really didn't play much going into the All-Star break.
No.
And coming into Colorado hadn't played much at all, and all of a sudden a couple of good at-bats in the Monday game. Went from a 2-hit career high to a 5-hit career high on Wednesday. Carried it over last night.
Maybe it sparked something. You know, he had gone, I think, 12 days without playing. And so you say to yourself, well, wait a minute. This is ridiculous. I'm not playing at all. And now all of a sudden you get an opportunity, and he's just gone crazy.
To his credit, it is tough to walk in the clubhouse every day and be disappointed and not seeing your name in the lineup.
No question about it. And then, by the way, to be able to come out of a streak like that and have good timing enough to do things like this. That was his first at-bat yesterday off Sonny Gray, when the Rays jumped all over. He had a tough night again.
Ball hit hard over Rocco Baldelli's head, foul. It's 2-2.
By the way, the in-between inning entertainment of Jumbotron here, it was disturbing, to say the least.
Thought it was funny.
You thought that was funny?
I did.
There were almost. I witnessed 2 felonies.
I don't think that's funny.
Right. That's what I mean.
Swing and a miss. He is out in front of that one. And that is strikeout number 4 for Minaya, the first 7 batters.
Minaya has had a good fastball tonight, able to command it, and the off speed has been good. Right there, that's the slider down and in to get the chase, and also that split changeup that he throws has been a very good pitch for him.
And we saw what I thought was a slider earlier. There was actually a changeup. He seems to manipulate that changeup almost like it has slider action.
You know what? I think that what happens is when you get a changeup, and that's why you think that it's a changeup, but you're not really quite sure. You know, you haven't seen this guy pitch a ton.
Right.
But with his arm angle and the fact that he's got that split change, if he pulls it just a little bit, it's going to have that action. I don't think that's something that he does on purpose, because most of the time you want that pitch falling down and away to the right-handed hitter. I think that was just one that he happened to yank. It was still effective. But it's a byproduct of the arm angle.
He's 0-2 on Kevin Kiermaier. We talk about the arm angle. He releases it from just above 5 feet, and he's 6'5". Conversely, tomorrow's pitcher for the Rays, Drew Smiley, is 6'3", and his release point at times is over 7 feet. So he's 2 inches taller than Drew, and his release point's 2 feet shorter, just because of the way Drew comes way over the top. And obviously, Sean Manaea comes from way down on the side.
And both of them are doing that to accomplish the same thing, deception. That's it. Coming right over the top, coming down here low 3/4. It's where they've obviously grown accustomed and comfortable to throwing the ball, and it works for them.
No swing there, says third base umpire Mark Ripperger. Kevin Kiermaier has a count of 2-2. No base runners in this game. 7 in a row retired by Manaea, 6 in a row retired by Odorizzi. We play here in the 3rd. Kiermaier still trying to get that rhythm at the plate. He's been on base with some walks, but his batting average just 111 since coming back from the DL. There is a strikeout on a called 3rd strike. Strikeout number 5 for Manaea.
Yeah, he's been good with the fastball. You know, that's one of the things coming in is one thing they wanted to work with him about. You know, back through his minor league action. It's spotty command at times, and especially with the fastball. You know, sketchy, not always having complete command of that fastball. And we talked about his last 2 outings. They've covered 12 innings, no walks. That's always a good sign. Just 2 earned runs given up, and we can see it here tonight. He's been able to locate that pitch on both sides.
His last start before the break was really good in Houston, where he went those 7 innings. Coming out of the All-Star break as Luke Maile takes a pitch for a ball, 1-0. Coming out of the All-Star break, he was supposed to be the number 5 starter in the rotation coming out of the break and pitch on Tuesday. But then Rich Hill, who'd been battling a blister issue, started Sunday, lasted 5 pitches. They bring in a reliever, Andrew Triggs. 4 pitches later, he's hit by a line drive. He lasted through that inning, but he had to leave the game. Next thing you know, Sean Manaea was called out of the bullpen for the first time in his career. On the ground towards short, Alcantara with the play, and Sean Manaea has retired the first 9 tonight. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, no score. with the Rays features Kevin Kiermaier and Steven Souza Jr. for the next few nights, and we asked them both who makes the other one laugh more in the outfield.
You make me laugh more, only because I try to make him laugh, but he doesn't think my jokes are as funny, and he's sneaky funny. You're sneaky funny.
I tell you what, right on both accounts. Kiermaier, very sneaky funny. Souza Jr.'s humor more goofy, and Kiermaier just doesn't laugh at him.
He stoned him there.
He did.
During the entire time that Souza was going on. I mean, Kiermaier had that look like, yeah, there's nothing that you can say that'll make me laugh. That's pretty good discipline.
We are going to have some fun with those two tonight. Tomorrow night, we have a night game in LA as well with the Dodgers. So stay tuned for that for the next part of our late night with the Rays on this road trip. Foul ball off the bat of Yonder Alonso, who is leading off here in the bottom half of the third inning. See Alonso's numbers on the year, much better lately. Started out really struggling, just above 200 for the first 50-plus games of the year. But over 310 for his last 41 games. Jake Odorizzi so far with a couple of strikeouts, a couple of ground outs, and has retired the first 6. No chase on the high fastball. It's 1-2.
Well, he's put himself in good counts. You know, for the most part, he's gotten some early in the count outs. He's gotten some quick strikeouts. You know, here again, 0-2. Now you climb, fair enough, but now it's 1-2, still in control.
I think the number that probably bothers Jake more than any is the average innings per start.
Yeah.
That really bothers him.
And it should. I mean, that shows you that what he expects out of himself. And that's a great sign. You know, he was on the same pace as he was 2 years ago when he averaged, you know, a little over 5 innings a start. And pop up there. He made it a point coming into last season that to pound the zone more, not to be so fine around the edges. He put on some weight, be a little bit stronger to be able to pitch deeper into a season effectively and deeper into ball games. And he averaged over 6 innings to start. And this year, it's taken another step back, and he's more on that pace from a couple of years ago. But a lot of that is how many times have we seen Jake Odorizzi in a given start have 2 or 3 8, 10, 12 pitch at-bats, and those are killers. I mean, get to 2 strikes and foul it all, foul off. Next thing you know, you're 11 pitches in. You're almost eating up a whole inning on one guy.
That has been an issue more than he would like this year, but again, much better in that Baltimore start, and so far so good tonight as he's retired the first 7 batters, trying to match 3 innings that have been put up by Sean Manaea, who has retired the first 9 batters. Ryan Healy is the batter.
And I think a lot of those long at-bats, it has to do with the fact that Jake's changeup has been inconsistent this year. The finish on it. A lot of those changeup have stayed in the zone and allowed guys to foul him off, fight him off, and then they're able to foul off the fastball that's elevated. He's not been able to play that elevated heater split change in the dirt game. He's able to get that finish back on that pitch. Those at-bats will start to go away.
Fastball just misses, 2-2. And he has recognized that and admitted that that's the pitch that has given him the most issues.
Yep.
Is his consistency with the change. And that used to be, when he learned it from Alex Cobb, such a big weapon. He's not throwing it as much this year.
No, he's absolutely, the usage has gone down. But, you know, like I said, he gets back to feeling comfortable with that pitch. That's when you play the up-down game. And that's the thing about Jake. We talk about it all the time. When he forces hitters to defend the entire strike zone and then have to go above it or below it, my gosh, it's tough.
3-2 is hit hard, but hook foul. Took a 92-mile-an-hour pitch and crushed it foul. Ryan Healy, in his first full week at the major league level, he had quite a week leading up to that. He went to San Diego for the Futures game, played for the U.S. team, had a couple of hits, and oh, by the way, coming out of the All-Star break, you're now a big leaguer for the first time. First major league hit was a home run against the knuckleballer R.A. Dickey. Here he grounds one to Evan Longoria, who makes the play, and Jake Odorizzi has retired 8 in a row. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. You can watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Here's Arizmendi Alcantara, the #9 hitter. We are in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. We have not had a base runner for either side. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Boy, tardy on that swing. That's something that you hope that Jake Odorizzi and Luke Maile log in the back of their mind. That's an interesting swing on a first pitch fastball.
There's a base hit to left field, and there's the game's first base runner.
You look at that swing and you say maybe he was trying to swing late on purpose to try to smack that ball the other way, which is what he did. Evan Longoria playing in. This ball's up enough. Stick the bat out there, slap it, find a hole. Now be careful with him over there at first base, a guy that you figure has a chance to run. And a team trying to generate some offense, he may be on the move.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he stays stationary at first base. He has 28 stolen bases this year at the minor league level and 2 of 3 at the major league level. Using the Cubs system up until the 2nd week of June. Takes a called strike, does Coco Crisp, 0-1.
Jake overall has given up 5 stolen bases in 7 attempts, but he does have 3 pickoffs. Quick feet. That's where a right-hander is able to pick up some close plays over there and some pickoffs.
When he was brought back from Nashville, AAA Nashville, he was leading the Pacific Coast League with those 28 steals. He was recalled on Wednesday, just a couple of days ago. Added a little infield depth that gave Bob Melvin a chance to get Marcus Semien the night off tonight at shortstop for the first time. There he goes, pitches low. Maile's throw is in time. Luke Maile guns down Alcantara for the final out of the inning. Defensive catcher of the year in the minor leagues for the last 2 years, and he shows off a gun here, getting Alcantara for the final out. Rays best defensive catcher in their system the last 2 years. Threw out a guy who had been leading the Pacific Coast League in steals before his promotion. There was Mondy Alcantara for the final out of the 3rd inning, and that was a beautiful throw on a tough pitch for a catcher to throw out a runner. Top of the order, Logan Forsythe here, top half of the 4th inning. Minaya delivers a strike And the count's 1-1. Manaea has retired all 9 batters so far, 5 on strikeouts, a couple on ground outs. Corey Dickerson on a pop-up, and the hardest hit ball of the night for the Rays was off the bat of Logan Forsythe when he lined to center his first time up, behind in the count 1-2.
Both of these pitchers in complete control here in tonight's ball game. Second time through. Let's see if the Rays have figured something out here against 55. Sometimes just being able to have an at-bat, see the arm angle, the stuff, see a few pitches, get you comfortable here the second time through.
Well, this first 3 innings, he is the complete opposite of Jake Odorizzi. He's a guy that starts fast and can struggle from the 4th inning on. That was an attempt at a check swing, but he went around, and that is strikeout number 6 for Manaea.
See again that ball up in the zone, and that's what they've been wanting him to do. I think that's part of the evolution, the growth of a young starting pitcher, figuring out how you can get guys out. You think about the changeup, the slider below the zone, and then of course the elevated fastball. And he's gotten a couple of strikeouts here tonight, Forsythe and Pierce on that pitch.
In his previous 12 starts at the major league level, as Geyer takes 1 down, Manaea has struck out more than 6 just once. And that was his career high of 8 against the Minnesota Twins here on June the 1st. 6 innings of 1-run baseball in that game, struck out 8 Twins. Tonight he has struck out 6 of the first 10 he has faced. This one on the ground should be easy for Jed Lowry, and it is. Geyer retired. That's 11 straight to start the game. And so Manaea, first 3 innings, 2.87 ERA, whereas Jake Odorizzi early on has struggled those first couple of innings. But Manaea, innings 4 and beyond, 7.60 ERA.
Yeah, and it's been the 3rd time through is where the numbers really take that jump. The on base against Manaea, 3rd time through, over 400. You go back to Jake Odorizzi, his first 2 innings, he's given up 55 runs this year. 29 have come in the first 2 innings.
So if you're handicapping this early, you're like, okay, Manaea's doing his thing early. For Jake, yes.
Yeah.
This is something new.
This is good. You get on that roll, and you're absolutely right.
Because Jake's the closer. He can come from behind after a tough start. But you're with Manaea, are you thinking just the angle takes a couple of times, like you said?
It can, absolutely. And I don't know what he did right there, but he came out of his mechanics badly. Got his feet caught. Yeah, and that's exactly right. His catcher back there, Stephen Vogt, going, are you all right? Because there was something wrong with that pitch.
Yeah, Manaea not smooth on that delivery. Let's take another look.
Watch as he starts to push off. Yeah, the front foot hit the ground early. That threw him off.
In the air, popped up deep first base. Yonder Alonso right on the foul line makes the play, and that'll do it for the Rays in the 4th. That is now 12 in a row, sent down by Sean Manaea. brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Southern Chevy dealers. Can you tell it's bark at the park here at Oakland Coliseum? They had a little parade before the game on the warning track in the outfield. Big day here.
It's great.
And that was also part of what you saw in between innings with the entertainment that disturbed you a little bit, because Kiss Cam today involved owners and their dogs.
Yeah, yes they did. And I'm going to tell you something right now.
Yes.
You could tell the owners that have never had children and the ones that had. Because some of these kisses were way too long and way too graphic. I mean, really.
Even for late night.
Even for late night.
I hear you. I'm with you.
I mean,
not more needs to be said. I think you covered it all right there.
I know. I don't know how to say it, but
I'm disappointed.
You know how a dog kisses.
I do.
I saw humans doing that to the dog.
Okay,
too.
I got you.
That's what I'm talking about. It was weird.
Ground ball right side. Logan Forsythe to his right, and there's 2 away. Guess what? Both pitchers have 2 outs in the 4th inning, and one guy has 3 outs, and they face the minimum. We're 2 outs in the bottom half of the 4th inning, and Jake Odorizzi and Sean Manaea have faced the minimum so far, because the only hit by Arizmendi Alcantara was wiped out by Luke Maile.
Yeah, and Luke Maile came out of that stance. We didn't get a chance to really talk about it because we were going to break. But, boy, the way that he came out of the stance, the glove work, the hand work out in front, and then got rid of that baseball with some hair on it second, that was well done. That was the only way that you were going to be able to get him, is if you were perfect and watch him just come shooting out and then make a strong throw. And Tim Beckham, you know what? Give him some credit with the tag. He was a little bit wide, but he caught that ball and slapped that tag down right on the backside of Alcantara to end that inning. Good job on both ends.
Luke had thrown out 31.6% this year with Durham. Last year, 33.8%. As Chris Davis is the batter. And he slices one down the right field line. This is going to get down for a base hit. Steven Souza Jr. fields it on a couple of hops, and Chris Davis with a 2-out base hit.
Well, Steven Souza Jr. got to that ball rather quickly. You think about a right-hander going right up the line like that, and you're thinking, okay, that's extra bases. I mean, that's way up the right field line, but Souza Jr., let's see where he's at. And see, he's already headed that way. Good hustle, cutting that ball off and keeping Davis to a single.
I think it's the Brian Anderson stirrups.
Yeah, well, no, I think it was just the positioning. I liked the idea, but it was the positioning.
We have a football question for you at some point, too, on Late Night with the Rays. We asked Souza Jr. and Kiermaier if you guys were on the same team, what position would you be on the football team?
For those 2 guys? I like it.
2 outs, runner on first. Tall strike. The other angle on that base hit, Davis didn't exactly get out of the box. He didn't give himself much of a chance to turn that into a double.
No, and I don't know if it would have mattered anyway, but you're right. It was certainly Souza Jr. was positioned well, got to it quickly, and Davis wasn't exactly Kiermaiering it out of the box.
Batter is Stephen Vogt, who hit a bullet his first time up, but as is typical when he faces the Rays, not much luck. It was right at Steve Pearce. So Vogt is now 0 for 16 on the year against his former mates. That's here with 2 outs and a runner on first. Fouled away, it's 1-2. Jake Odorizzi, as you can see, with 50 pitches so far. Trying to get through the 4th here in good fashion. Went 6 innings in his last start against a very patient Baltimore Orioles team, but he was able to strike out 7 in that start against the O's. Fared much better than he did his previous start against Baltimore when he lasted 5 and threw a lot of long at bats. Threw 99 pitches in those 5 innings against the O's. 4 innings was the total he lasted against Oakland the first time he faced these guys at Tropicana Field. That's upstairs, and it's 2-2.
He gave up 3 home runs in that ball game. And that was the game that really he struggled noticeably with the changeup. And that pitch stayed true. Didn't have a lot of finish. Davis got him. Valencia got him. Semien got him.
Up the middle. Forsythe, a great play for the final out. What range by the Rays second baseman. A long way to go for Forsythe. And both thought he had a base hit to the outfield. Instead, it turns into an out. As we are through 4, scoreless. And a scoreless from $2 Kids Days to $2 Dogs, Senior Special to Student Rush. We have something for everyone each night of the week. Check out all the great specials at raysbaseball.com/specials or call 888-FAN-RAYS now. Steve Pearce leads things off for the Rays and takes a pitch for a ball, 1-0. Rays have hit a total of 1 ball out of the infield against Sean Manaea through 4 innings. That was Logan Forsythe, the leadoff hitter, with a line drive to center. He has struck out 6. He has popped up a couple. The rest are ground outs. This guy likes hitting against lefties, though.
Listen, this year he's liking to hit against everybody, but you're right, left-handers especially, with that gaudy average. That on-base percentage is approaching 500 against lefties.
Tonight's Buick GMC big matchup. This time Pierce does not win the big matchup as he flies one to right. Josh Reddick waits for it and puts it away for the first out here in the 5th. Manaea has been tough to solve tonight.
He really has, but here's the thing. He's had all 3 pitches working. You know, you can't act that surprised when you've got a guy that's been able to command the fastball for the most part to both sides of the plate. We've seen him elevated a couple of times for strikeouts, and the changeup and the slider have been good. So, you know, right now he's got things rolling. He's locked in.
Steven Souza Jr. struck out his first time up, 1 of 6 strikeouts for the left-hander Manaea. Manaea was a big part of that trade last year with the Royals as Souza Jr. hustles and gets thrown out by Lowry by a stride.
Now batting, designated hitter.
And there's 2
Corey
outs.
Dickerson.
Souza Jr. favoring that right hand.
I don't like that.
No, that doesn't look great.
No.
Hopefully just bees in the hand after one off the end of the bat.
Yeah, I don't like the facial expressions. I mean, he seems to be really bothered by that. Yeah, that's more than bees.
Killer bees. 2 outs, nobody on.
Yellow Jackets? What?
14 retired in a row for Manaea. And there's the first base hit of the night and the first runner for the Rays. Lefty on lefty, Corey Dickerson gets a base hit. And the fans here at Oakland were thinking no as they give a nice round of applause to the rookie left-hander.
Yeah, and how about the fact that he is victimized by the left-handed hitting Dickerson? He got a breaking ball that stayed up, and that allowed him to get out there, get around it, hit it hard enough to get it in the hole.
So the Rays have their first base runner, and now they have, at least in the last 3 games, their hottest hitter at the plate, and Tim Beckham. Beckham struck out his first time up, getting another start tonight. Started the final game in Colorado Wednesday at short. Played first base last night. Had 8 consecutive hits and reached base 9 straight times before he was retired in his 3rd at bat in last night's game. Takes one down and in, 2-0. But Minaya was with the Royals. Was a competitive balance pick after the first round of the 13 draft, and last year, right before the trade deadline, he was brought over when the A's sent Ben Zobrist to Kansas City, and he ended up having a great rest of the season for AA Midland. Here's a foul ball out of play. He was 6-0 with a 1.90 ERA after he got traded to the Oakland's AA team. Good crowd back there behind the Rays bullpen. They've made a couple of catches tonight.
We've seen that this entire trip. The fans in Colorado, at least early in the games, came to play, making nice catches. Same thing here in Oakland.
2-1 the count on Beckham. That's a called strike on the inner half. It's 2-2.
Little slide step there, and sometimes you'll use that to control the running game. I don't think he's worried about Corey Dickerson. Other times you'll use it just to throw the timing off of the hitter. He gets used to a certain rhythm when he's going to get his load, and then all of a sudden you slide step him, and it forces him to have to do things quicker.
On the ground, and a diving stop by Lowry. Gets up, not in time. Beckham beats it out. Tim Beckham beats out what could have been a great play by Jed Lowry, and the Rays have a couple of runners aboard.
That's a hustle out of the box is what did it for Tim Beckham, because Jed Lowry had his sights on a diving stop, get out of the inning, but Beckham hustling the entire way, clearly safe. Take a look.
Watch Beckham down the line. Was he confused by this call originally? I think he put his hands on his head.
Kevin Kiermaier.
Oh boy, he went right to the front edge of the bag too. That is well done.
Beckham with an infield hit. Rays with runners on first and second. And the hits continue for Tim Beckham, who is now 9 for his last 12. Kevin Kiermaier. Chance to do some damage here with 2 outs. The Rays had 2 outs, nobody on. Back-to-back hits here in the 5th. Inside, ball 1. Mentioned Minaya is so much tougher on lefties, hitting just 179. Strikes out about 1 every 4 lefties. Yet in his time in the minors this year, they're hitting just 151 against him, our left-handers. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Rays' first threat of the night. They had no base runners until Corey Dickerson's 2-out single.
Well, the Rays, you know what? They over the course of this season, they've been able to score a lot of 2-out runs. Just do not give up on innings. That's happened quite a bit. Going to have to get a hanger, though. That was a nasty breaking ball, and you can tell by the swing of Kiermaier as he works himself back into having good timing at the plate. Here's that slider. That's how he can sweep it down and away. Those are the swings that you'll get. And if I'm Minaya, I'm not even thinking about anything else.
See how far out you can take it?
Yeah, I mean, you got a 1-2 count. Absolutely right. That's a good take.
Mark Ripperger agrees. That was a take. It's 2-2.
Good adjustment made here by Kiermaier. Sees, oops, same pitch, and I'll hold up. That's a good job.
So now the count 2-2. Dickerson on second, Beckham on first. Scoreless game, top half of the 5th inning. Slow grounder down the line on first. It stays fair and out at first base on the tag by Alonso.
Yeah, and we'll see if he tagged him. I'll bet you Kevin Cash wanted to take a look at this to see if he actually did tag him. Yes, he did.
No argument from Kiermaier or Baldelli. That ball took a strange bounce as it was going up the line.
You know, and that's the thing. Slow hit and Kiermaier's speed. Boy, if you're Alonso, you've got to come in, scoop this ball, and get that tag up right away. And Kiermaier ran right into it.
There you see the play. Alonso gets Kiermaier on the left side. Back for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jed Lowry will lead things off for the A's. Takes the pitch a little bit away. 1-0. Been a good pitchers battle so far as Jake Odorizzi and Sean Manaea have gone toe-to-toe. Scoreless in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Both teams with a couple of hits. Ground ball right side. Pierce will flip it over to Odorizzi. A little bit of a hop for the first out of the 5th. Our greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Ken Griffey Jr., Mike Piazza, the Baseball Hall of Fame class of 2016. See their accomplishments during their major league careers. They came from vastly different paths in terms of type in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, Griffey Jr. right up there at the top. You know, his father, the lineage. Mike Piazza, he was picked like in the 700th round as a favorite of Tommy Lasorda.
Base hit in the left by Jake Smolinski.
And look what he ends up doing.
Not many 700th rounders get to the Hall of Fame.
No, they don't. Not many 700th rounders get to the big leagues.
And Piazza ended up. His father Vince was a good friend of Tommy Lasorda, and the Dodgers did Vince a favor at the time, and then Vince did the Dodgers a favor the rest of the way.
Boy, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. And he was so tough. I mean, listen, the offensive numbers that he put up while catching a very demanding position. That's why he's going into the Hall. But he was an absolute monster. And he had that kind of power right, you know, right center all the way over to left. I mean, he just can take you out anywhere.
Here's Yonder Alonso. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it. Even with this vast territory and foul ground, it is out of play. Most foul territory you'll see in any major league ballpark. Does not help the offense very much.
Yeah, it's vast. Well, think about that pop-up that Ryan Healy caught. It was a pop-up stayed in. He had to like make a sliding catch. That's how far you had to run.
when you are in a shift, there are times when the third baseman has no chance. Ball hit hard, but at Forsythe. Forsythe to Beckham, one. The shortstop takes his time for the turn, and that's a double play. We are through 5 scoreless. Jake Odorizzi's faced 1 over the minimum. As we head to the 6th inning, it has been a pitcher's duel tonight. Jake Odorizzi with a couple of strikeouts in the first, and since then he has let his defense do the job, and they have backed him up nicely with 5 shutout innings. Sean Manaea has 6 strikeouts, and he picked up those 6 in the first 10 batters he faced. He's allowed 2 hits. Jake Odorizzi's allowed 3 hits, and we have ourselves a nice little pitcher's duel developing here in Oakland Coliseum. Luke Maile will lead things off here in the top half of the 6th inning.
Is that what we're calling it again this year?
We are. I said O.Co earlier. Oh, wide throw. Alcantara is saved by Alonso. Had to come off the bag to make the tag.
A couple of tags there by Alonso. Got Kiermaier on that little soft roller up the first baseline to finish off the 5th. And you're right, a nice save job here. Everything looks pretty routine until the throw starts to sail. Nice play by Yonder.
I remember O.Co, obviously. Yep. I remember Oakland Alameda Coliseum.
Yep.
There's been a lot of...
Is it still O.Co?
No, it's Oakland Coliseum. It's Oakland Coliseum now, according to the notes.
Okay. Well, I dropped a... we were talking about favorite road parks.
Yes.
And I dropped what I remember as Pac Bell, which is now AT&T.
Yeah. I walked around that stadium on our off day. Well, it wasn't a Rays off day, but it was a non-TV day. Awesome.
It is.
Yeah, it's
I'm
awesome.
telling you, that place. And the thing that was great was outside of 1998, once we got into 1999, the 2 best teams in the AL West were, you know, the Diamondbacks and the Giants. So not only is the park outstanding, but the crowds were great and enthusiastic, and it was just, the atmosphere was tremendous.
1-2 the count to Logan Forsythe as Sean Manaea will face the Rays for the 3rd time. And this is where you say sometimes it catches up to him, although tonight he has shown no signs.
No, I mean, he continues to throw like this, it's going to be tough. But yeah, typically, you know, you just look at the trends and you look at his numbers 3rd time through, and they are much worse than the 1st and 2nd. So we'll see if that holds or if he's able to break that trend.
You can see 5 of the 6 strikeouts are swinging, 1 called. There is the 6th swinging strikeout, 7th overall. He gets Forsythe for the 2nd time.
You know, these off-speed pitches by Manaea have been outstanding to go along with that fastball. That's really all you could say. You're just hoping at some point he makes a couple of mistakes. There's that breaking ball again. You know, it stays in the zone for a long time. It stays flat, and then all of a sudden it sweeps, has a little depth to it. And Forsythe, you know, a guy that has very good pitch recognition and a good 2-strike approach, still comes up empty.
Rays 2 hits, both came last inning with 2 outs. A Corey Dickerson single to right and a Tim Beckham infield single. But then Manaea was able to get Kevin Kiermaier on a Slow roller up the first baseline for the final out of the inning. Brandon Guyer has grounded out twice. He's down to the count 0-2. Rays have a line out to center field by Forsythe, a fly out to right field by Pierce, and the Dickerson single. The only 3 balls that have left the infield against Sean Manaea. Staying alive. Emergency swing there. It's 0-2. See Manaea with his pitch count in good order. It's 76. Still, somebody does not eclipse the 100-pitch plateau very often. In the air, foul, and that's also going to reach the seats. He has only, in his 12 previous Major League starts, gone over 100 pitches once, and that was his start right before the All-Star break, where they knew he'd have an extended rest, when he threw 106 pitches against the Astros in one of his better starts of the year. 7 innings of 5-hit shutout baseball. On the ground, past Manaea, going to be trouble. Forget about it. No chance for Alcantara. Brandon Guyer with a little infield hit, and the Rays now have 3 hits.
Well, again, with 2 outs, trying to extend an inning, and by doing just that, you get Evan Longoria to the plate. Brandon Guyer just tops this pitch. Chopper. Once it gets by Manaea, there was no play to be made. Look how far everybody's got to charge in, and Brandon Guyer, you know, once again hustling up the line, beats that out easy.
Evan Longoria with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Our inside look shows you where Evan ranks. Home runs, top 10. Extra base hits, 3rd in the American League. Top 10 in slugging percentage and total bases. Manaea was, as we mentioned, outstanding in his outing against Houston before the break. And then when he came out of the All-Star break in that emergency relief outing, he was very good for 5 innings. The only 2 runs allowed were a home run by Troy Tulowitzki. Can we see another 2-run home run from a Long Beach State product?
I like where your head's at. Most of the time I don't, but right now I really like where it's at.
Most of the time, no.
You're locked in right now.
1-1 count. And the pitch is down and away. It's 2-1. Yeah, Manaea is a guy, it looks like he's getting better as he figures things out his rookie season.
And that's what they were hoping. You know, I read some early articles and they were talking about his, you know, just what he was, they thought that he would be capable of. And they're saying, you know, maybe, forget it. We'll talk about it next inning.
Force out for the final out. Longoria grounds to 3rd. So Manaea threw 6 shutout innings, allowing 3 hits. A walk. scoreless from Oakland. Get a Rays backpack presented by Sagicor Life Insurance Company. All kids 14 and under will receive the backpack while supplies last when they attend the Rays game versus the Yankees on Sunday, July 31st. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. Ryan Healy will face Jake Odorizzi to lead off the bottom half of the 6th inning. And he takes a big swing and fouls one back, 0-1. Healy, 24-year-old, getting his first taste of the big leagues right after the All-Star break. Started at University of Oregon, made his way through the system, and now with a chance to play every day at third base, they're going to find other spots for a guy like Danny Valencia. The Rays don't mind the fact that Valencia is not starting today. He put on a clinic against them in that series at Tropicana Field. Five home runs.
Yeah, they absolutely got his power and production jump started. Came into that series, I believe, with no home runs. Walks out with 5. And I'll tell you, someone else who doesn't mind that he's not in the lineup is Jake Odorizzi, because that start against the A's where he gave up 3 home runs, you know, Valencia hit 1, Semien hit 1. They're both out.
Yeah, only Chris Davis of the 3 home runs in the lineup today. 2-1 the count. And that is a called strike, says Joe West. See Odorizzi's pitch count as we start play here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Jake this year has gone 7 innings. That's the deepest he's gone, but he has not done so since his last start in May, back on the 29th against the Yankees. Went 7 innings of 1-hit, 2-run baseball, struck out 6. So the entire month of June, and here we are later in July, has not gone beyond 6 innings in any of those starts. Misses inside and the count's full, but he's in a really good pitch count right now to have a chance to pitch 7 innings or more. Facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in this inning to start things off. Swing and a miss. That's his first strikeout since the first and his 3rd in the game.
And that was a changeup. And you know, Healy, the previous pitch was a changeup almost in the same exact spot. He took it for ball 3 and then swings at that one. This right here got a chance to be ball 4. Stays up, stays in, and Healy still goes after it. That's a big strikeout. You don't want that bottom of the order starting things off with a leadoff walk here in a scoreless game.
6 singles in this game, 3 for each side. The guy at the plate right now, Arizmendi Alcantara, has one of those 6 with a line drive single to left. The A's have not had a runner reach second base. Alcantara was the closest, but he was gunned down by Luke Maile after that single in the 3rd on a great throw by the Rays catcher. Swinging a foul tip, 0-2. And really, that was what the Rays were hoping when they made the move at the All-Star break. They acquired Hank Conger in the offseason to provide some offense, but they knew Luke Maile was a better defensive player. He had started to hit well at the minor league level prior to the All-Star break. And they gave him a shot. That was the transaction that was made during the break, and Luke getting a chance to play really on a fairly regular basis since the All-Star break.
Yeah, and he understands that fully, and you can see him trying to take advantage of, you know, this opportunity.
Swing and a miss at the high fastball. 2 in a row for Odorizzi, 4 in the game.
I think you could do that all day to Alcantara. All day long.
Left fielder.
I think Jake Odorizzi learned that, put it to use in that at-bat. He went up and in to get a swing and a miss, went up even further, and this one a little bit away. No chance you're ever going to get up there. And once again, way late.
Back to the top of the order now. 3rd time through the lineup, Coco Crisp is the hitter. He is grounded out and flied to center. Crisp is the antithesis of Brandon Guyer at the plate in terms of being hit by a pitch. Guyer has 22 hit by pitches. Crisp hasn't been hit by a pitch since 2011 as he flies to center, and that'll do it. for the A's in the 6th. Jake Odorizzi looking strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the
It's 3 hits. We caught up with Kevin Kiermaier and Steven Souza Jr. on our late night with the Rays and asked them what positions they'd play if they were on the same football team.
now batting, first baseman, Steve Pierce.
I think, I'd like to come in and lay the boom. I can cover a little bit around and run around and lay some hat. What about you, Kevin?
I'm a free safety, center field.
Safeties, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a couple of safety. Maybe like Earl Thomas and Cam Chance. No.
I'm my own player.
Who's that guy?
Teaching
What
things.
about the guys for the Ravens? Remember that Ed Reed and that other guy? What was his name?
Bob Sanders?
That's who it was. Bob Sanders and Ed Reed. We could be like Bob Sanders and Ed Reed.
Steve Pierce swings and misses, nothing in 2.
I think
Those guys strong. Susan said strong safety.
Yeah.
And then Kiermaier said free safety.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. See, that shows you that these two are they're good self-evaluators. Understanding that they're both rangy. Not big enough to be linebackers.
Right.
Certainly you wouldn't want to. Well, like I said, you just not the size for linebacker. A little too big, a little too stout to play corner. So yeah, make them safeties. Strong safety, and then free safety. Covering, Kiermaier can cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Right. A free safety that can cover like he can. Souza can cover ground. Strong safety can help support the run. I like it.
Ball into center field off the bat of Steve Pierce, and he is a leadoff base runner for the Rays here in the 7th. 4th hit of the night for Tampa Bay. Souza's got the,
Now batting.
Yeah, no, let's get back to that. This is great.
Souza's got the personality to be in front of the camera, but he struggles with the mic positioning.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And that's why it's all about reps in this business. It's
Exactly.
just over and over and over again, and then pretty soon it becomes very easy where you put that thing.
Sometimes
because
people-
on the cheek is not
the
correct.
best spot.
Yeah.
Not the best spot. Souza Jr. looking for his first hit of the night. He has struck out and grounded out. He's around the bunt and takes a pitch away. We don't see that very often.
No, but you know what? You've got two pitchers that are in control. This game is getting late, and so right now, Souza Jr. thinking small ball. I'd like to see him swing the bat personally, but I guess you can understand trying to get a guy into scoring position.
I've got him for 0 sacrifice bunts on the season, and I'm going to guess that could be a career number 2. Line drive at the shortstop, Alcantara. Hit well, bad luck for the placement by Souza.
That's where if you're Alcantara, you just smack that ball down to the ground and then go for 2. Got out to you quick enough.
Souza did have 1 sacrifice bunt last year, the only one of his career. But
He's still grimacing with that right hand.
Really?
Yeah. If you get your head out of the book over there, watch a little bit of the game. It'd be great.
I'm thinking as a strong safety, you got to be able to play hurt.
And he is. We
All
saw it last time. See, that thing still does not feel right.
But there's not much attention from the medical staff. So
No.
I'm thinking he's okay.
Yeah, that's the dead giveaway. You know, not only was there no, Ron Porterfield, Paul Harker
They're kind of
coming
laughing
down.
at him.
Yeah, his teammates are chuckling. So, wonder what's going on there.
1 out, 1 on. Rays have had 1 runner reach second base. The A's have had none. If you like pitchers duels, you are in the right spot tonight. Chop towards the left side. Alcantara a force at second. Dickerson, he had no chance to turn that on the slow chopper. But now 2 outs and a runner on first.
Now batting, shortstop, Tim.
There's Tim Beckham, infield single, his last time up, 1 for 2 on the night. 2 of the Rays' 4 hits have been on the infield. A Brandon Guyer chopper towards short, and the Beckham ground ball towards second that Lowry made a good stop on, but Beckham beat the throw. Guyer trying to match his career high in innings pitched. Twice he's gone 7. He's now at 6 2/3 with 91 pitches. A little bit low since Joe West. It's 2-0. The home run by Beckham last night, which was his 4th, came on a 3-1 pitch. Hit over the wall to left field. On the ground, Healy, nice play to his left, and that'll do it for the Rays. So 1 hit, 1 left. 7th inning stretch time at the Oakland Coliseum. We're still scoreless. This day in 2013, Matt Moore tosses his first career complete game and shutout. He became the 9th lefty to shut out the Red Sox at Fenway while allowing 2 hits or less, and the 2nd Ray to throw a complete game shutout in Boston, the other being Steve Traxel. Matt Moore, our Geico great moment. A lot of scouts were in the crowd, as you might imagine, as both the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland Athletics are 2 of the teams that are sellers, and that's in the minority of the teams in Major League Baseball. So a lot of people watching Matt Moore last night. Josh Reddick has also been on the rumor mill, or amongst the rumors, as he leads off here in 7.
Yeah, Josh Reddick looking for an extension, and if it's not going to happen, then probably gladly accept a trade to somebody that's in contention. But that's the tricky thing. And now you're starting to get more and more teams. I read a report today where the White Sox willing to listen on Quintana and Chris Sale. And now all of a sudden there are some options out there for these teams that are looking to add starting pitching. And this is always an interesting time in baseball going down to the trade deadline. You got, a little bit of time left, about a week and a half. And so it'll get really, really interesting here down the stretch.
We mentioned Rich Hill's blister cost him a start on Sunday, and that's interesting too, because if he's not healthy by the trade deadline,
I know
you're taking a chance.
Yeah, and he's a guy that that Oakland would like to move. I mean, he's
Geyer coming in, and he makes a backhanded catch that goes to the ground in the process. Nice play by the Rays left fielder.
It certainly was. That ball off the bat looked like trouble, but it hung up long enough. Brandon Geyer able to close some ground.
Chris Davis.
Makes a nice catch.
It's not a comfortable topic, and unfortunately it's one you have to ask, but Odorizzi's been dealing with the questions, Matt Moore's been dealing with the questions, and even more recently now Chris Archer has been dealing with a lot of those questions. And it's something that David Price went through. We've seen James Shields go through it in the past. Here's the ball fouled away. But the bottom line is the Rays are one of the teams that have an excess of starting pitching.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of teams that could use a starting pitcher to try and get to the finish line.
But they're a target. There's no question about it. Will they do anything? That remains to be seen. But to pry one of these young starters that are, they're controllable. That seems to be the buzzword nowadays. Is you've got a guy that's just not a 3-month rental,
right?
But he's got some controllable years ahead of him. That makes a guy more valuable. And the Rays, if they're going to make the trade, they're going to get the package that they want, or they won't move him. They don't have to do anything.
1-1 count to Chris Davis in the air, shallow right field. Steven Souza Jr. calls off everybody, and there's 2 away. Gotta love what we're seeing out of Jake Odorizzi since the All-Star break.
Now batting.
Odorizzi backs up a 6-inning 2-run game against the Baltimore Orioles, and tonight he's 6 2/3 in of shutout baseball. Just really in command the whole night.
Yeah, I mean, really, you're right. I mean, no walks, 4 strikeouts. The pitch count in very fine order, just 77. He's given up 3 singles. One was erased on a caught stealing. Another one, he had a double play. So he just has really limited the opportunities of the A's.
We mentioned Sean Manaea for the A's has matched his season high with 7 innings, and there's no bullpen action, so he has a great chance to go deeper in today's game than any other of his career. And Jake's longest outing is 7 innings as well, and he's 1 strike away from matching that, about to throw his 80th pitch. It's been a night when both pitchers have been dominant. 7 hits, all singles in this game. And only 1 runner reaching second base. That was Corey Dickerson in the 5th. Popped in the air, foul. Maley gives it a look, but no chance. Bodas hit the ball on a line that was caught by Steve Pearce, and then he hit the ball what looked like was going to right center field for a base hit, and Logan Forsythe came out of nowhere for a phenomenal play to end the 4th. So instead of a 2-for-2 night, Boat's looking at an 0-for-2 night, and now 0-for-17 on the year against the Rays. This should be 0-for-18. Who wants it? Beckham, Longoria, Geyer. Beckham calls. Geyer is there, and Tim Beckham finally makes the play. A little communication issue does not hurt at the end of the day as the Rays get through the 7th. All right, Rich, thank you. First pitch just misses Kevin Kiermaier inside, ball 1. This has been a pitcher's night tonight. Sean Manaea for the A's, Jake Odorizzi for the Rays. 7 combined singles in this game. Called strike, it's 1-1. Best scoring opportunity came with Kiermaier at the plate his last time up. First and second, 2 outs. And he grounded out to first. There's a ground ball base hit. Kevin Kiermaier, leadoff base runner for the Rays here in the 8th.
Yeah, this is where you make it happen. This is where you make it happen. You've had Manaea, who's been so very good here tonight. Kevin Kiermaier rips one over in the hole. You've got speed on the base paths. It's time to go.
Kiermaier 6 of 8 on the year in steals.
Think about Maile putting a bunt down here.
Luke Maile has grounded a short twice. He's around a bunt, puts it down, but in foul territory. And that's strike 1.
Yeah, he's able to execute this, get Kiermaier to second base. I'll take my chances all day long with Forsythe, Geyer, and Longoria. Hopefully, getting a shot here for the 4th time against Manaea.
Saw bullpen action for the A's. Ryan Dull is having a phenomenal year for Oakland. Getting ready in a hurry. Maile around the bunt. Nicely done. The pitcher, Manaea, will take it and throws to first in time. Initially, he was about to back off. Ends up making the play. Successful sacrifice.
Now batting, second baseman, Logan Forsythe.
So here you go. You've got 2 shots at it.
Logan Forsythe hit the ball hard his first time up, but that's the only time he has made contact tonight. He lined to center. He has struck out and struck out. Strikeout 6 and 7 for Manaea. He struck out 6 of the first 10 batters he faced, and since then has struck out just 1 more. Working the deepest he's ever been in a major league game. 7 1/3 innings, his new career high. Misses away, 1-0. See what Logan's doing this year with runners in scoring position. He has 3 straight multi-hit games, looking for his first hit tonight. Ball hit well to center field on a line, but over to cut it off is Smolinski. Kiermaier with the tag. He'll get to third. Smolinski makes the play for the 2nd out.
That ball was smoked by Logan Forsythe.
Now batting,
Center field,
left
trending
fielder,
towards right center
Brandon
field, and a heck of a
Geyer.
job by Jake Smolinski to run that down. But the only good thing is you get Kiermaier to third. And now 1 pitch in the dirt, 1 little mistake. Nice running catch there by the A's center fielder.
Pretty good read by Kiermaier, too, to get back and tag.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he knows, he's smart enough to know this. If it gets by him, I'll walk it from where I'm at. But if he does catch it, I can get to third. And I'm that much closer.
So we'll see if Brandon Geyer can come through. Who's going to blink first? Manaea, Odorizzi locked in, a scoreless game. This is the first time we've seen a runner as far as third base. And the pitch misses away to Geyer, 1-0. Kiermaier, a very aggressive base runner. Anything in the dirt, he's going to look to try and score a run. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Manaea at 102 pitches, 2nd time in his career at the big league level. He's gone over 100. In the air to right field. Should be an easy play for Josh Reddick. And Manaea is through 8. Shutout baseball. Outstanding performance from the young left-hander for the Orioles. brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com. By Kubota. For more information, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Baseball from the Bay Area on the other side of the continent as the Rays Bay Area and the A's Bay Area meet tonight. It is 0-0 bottom half of the 8th inning. Jed Lowry, Jake Smolinski, Yonder Alonso, 5, 6, and 7 in the A's lineup. What have you liked tonight from Odorizzi?
Everything. I mean, what's there not to like? He's been great with his sequences. He's been great with, getting early contact. Look at the pitch count. He's worked up in the zone effectively. He's picked his spots with the changeup. He's thrown, a couple of curveballs to get ahead early. I mean, he really and moved the ball around the zone, which is, what he needs to do to be successful. And there's not really much of anything to dislike here tonight.
That's a strike. The count evens at 2. Lowry has flied to left and grounded to first. Jake has allowed just 3 singles tonight. He has not walked a batter, and he has struck out 4. Swing and a miss. Make that 5 strikeouts. First out here in the 8th.
Yeah, that has been the pitch for Jake here tonight. Being able to climb the ladder right into that just can't reach in zone. And there he is. There was a good split change right there. Then there's a good fastball by Chris Davis. Get a little help here. Ball that was hard hit. One of the few that were hard hit. Got Healy to chase a changeup. Now Quintera going upstairs after the heater. You could go on and on.
Deepest he's gone into any start this year. A little flare to right. Smolinski's going to be on with a little bloop hit with 1 out here in the 8th. Not hit hard, but in the right spot.
Yeah, sometimes that's the bottom line. You're right. That ball was just pushed out there. A's have a base runner.
So 4th hit allowed by Jake Odorizzi. They have all been singles. And no A's base runner has reached second base tonight. Here's Yonder Alonso. Alonso grounded into a double play his last time up. The Rays would love a repeat here. Swing and a foul tip, 0-1. Big hack by the first baseman. Mentioned Jake's pitch count in fine order. The night for Sean Manaea looks like it's going to be over with 103 pitches. As Manaea goes 8 shutout innings, they have replaced Ryan to the bullpen. Ryan Madsen now forming in place of Ryan Dull. 0-1 pitch away. It's 1-1.
And I say good. I mean, get Manaea out of the game.
Yeah.
I'll take anybody but him right now, the way that he's been throwing the ball.
That's in the closer for Bob Melvin. Dull's numbers are even better as the setup man. There goes the runner. Maley a chance. The throw. He is 2 for 2 tonight as Luke Maley. Smolinski thrown out for the second out here in the 8th.
And this one wasn't even close. Maley got that ball down to Beckham so quick that Beckham had to wait on Smolinski to slide into the bag. Here he come. Boy, oh boy, that is well done.
Combination of Maley getting rid of it in a hurry, and Jake Odorizzi's doing a nice job giving his catcher a chance tonight.
Yep, quick to the plate.
And now the base runner is wiped out, so 4 singles tonight. And none of them have gotten as far as second base. One was retired on a great play by Logan Forsythe. The other a double play and 2 caught stealings. In the air, shallow center. Kiermaier coming on in a hurry, and he is not there in time. He thought Beckham was going to take it. Beckham thought Kiermaier was going to take it.
Do you remember the play where Beckham went back and took the ball away from Brandon Guyer? Little pop-up out shallow left field and ended an inning, and they were talking to each other going in because Brandon Guyer thought that he should have been the guy to catch that ball, and Beckham drifted back and took it from him. And the same thing happens here. Beckham going back, and you can see Kiermaier looking at Tim Beckham thinking, well, you're going to catch it or not, and then a late dive at the end.
I guess Kiermaier lost it in his peripheral that Beckham had peeled off, because he peeled off with a few seconds, or at least a split second with the ball in the air.
Yeah, I'll give you a split second on that one, but definitely miscommunication. And Beckham drifted back out there. You could see Kiermaier lowering his sights, looking at Beckham, wondering what he was still doing there.
Well, that's a rare error on Kevin Kiermaier, and unfortunately extends the inning here for the A's on a absolutely routine fly ball to center. I mean, Kiermaier had a long way to go, but that has to be the final out of the 8th.
Yeah, and that's not a long way for him. But he was convinced
He
that
got
Beckham.
deked.
He did. He absolutely did.
Well, this is going to seethe internally for Kiermaier until Odorizzi gets this final out, and even then he won't be real happy. But at least he wants to see his starter pick him up here, and Jake's behind in the count to Ryan Healy, 2-0. Now Odorizzi nearing the mid-90s in pitch count, and Xavier Cedeno was starting to loosen in the Rays bullpen. In the air to left field, Guyer on the move, he can't get there. First and third, as Alonso goes to third with 2 outs.
And they're pulling Alcantara back. I think Bob Melvin saw what we did, that he wasn't going to have any kind of chance against Odorizzi unless they bring in Xavier Cedeno, and he's being summoned back, and they're going to have a pinch hitter here.
It's going to be Rays killer Danny Valencia, who's going to get a pinch hit appearance here with 2 outs in the 8th. You can see Jake Odorizzi's frustration just then as he fired a ball into the Rays dugout. He didn't want to use the ball. Instead of lightly tossing it, he fired it with some authority.
Your attention, please.
And that guy right there is livid right now. Kevin Kiermaier. See it written all over his face.
Valencia hit 5 home runs in the 3-game series at Tropicana Field. Last night, he got the start against Matt Moore. Had a couple of singles, one against Moore, one against Erasmo Ramirez, was 2 for 4.
And how about A's pinch hitters? 5 of their last 13 with 7 runs driven in.
Odorizzi trying to get through the 8th here with an extra out at play. Swing and a miss, 0-1. That was well struck on May 13th off the catwalk against Odorizzi. Late swing, 0-2. Valencia coming off the bench down to the count.
Jake going upstairs at 93. Boy, that ball was well located with some good velocity. 1 pitch away from getting out of this mess.
Way up high, it's 1-2. Doesn't chase, 2-2. Valencia pinch hitting for Alcantara. 2 outs, bottom half of the 8th. A's got a runner to second and a third for the first time tonight on that base hit by Ryan Healy. 3 straight upstairs and 3 straight takes, and now the count's full. Healy will get get a head start off first. Popped up. Luke Bailey throws the mask away. Odorizzi gets out of it. We head to the ninth. Still scoreless in Oakland. The highly touted prospect Sean Manaea with his best start of his major league career tonight.
Yeah, listen, he had all three pitches working. I mean, the off speed, the changeup, the slider was very good, but those complemented the fastball and his ability to command it both sides of the plate. We saw him elevate a few times in this ball game, and that's exactly where you want him, is on the bench and out of this game, because he was that good against the Rays here tonight. 8 shutouts, 7 strikeouts, and for the third straight outing, no walks. His last 20 innings, in his last 3 outings, he has not walked a man.
Marcus Semien takes over at shortstop after Danny Valencia pinch hit for Arizmendi Alcantara. And there you see the new pitcher for the A's, their closer Ryan Madsen, on in a tie game. 20 saves, but 5 blown saves. Things have not been as easy for him lately, as Evan Longoria leads off the top half of the 9th inning.
Yeah, heart of the order. Evan Longoria, he's due. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Swinging the bat great.
Madsen has an ERA above 6 in the month of July. Included a tough series against the Houston Astros. Evan Longoria, Steve Pearce, Steven Souza pitches away, and Longoria had 3-0.
Yeah, he wants absolutely no part of Evan Longoria after falling behind. Those fastballs well off away. 3-0, you know that Evan's going to have the green light if he wants it.
That's ball 4, just missed the top half of the zone, and Evan Longoria 4-pitch walk to lead off the 9th. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We will hear from the Rays left-hander Drew Smyly about his start against the Oakland A's, and Arestas Estrada will break down Danny Valencia. Valencia with his first pinch hit appearance in the bottom half of the 8th inning, ended up fouling out for the final out, and Jake Odorizzi had to get 4 outs in that inning. Here's Steve Pearce, 1 for 3, single his last time. Called strike, 0-1. Rays looking for a run, and then they would like to hand the ball over to Alex Colomé, he saw warming up a moment ago. Colomé picked up his 21st save last night. 1-1 the count. Ryan Madsen has seen a couple of close pitches go against him so far. A 3-0 pitch to Evan, and that last 0-1 pitch to Steve Pearce. Checo the runner. see Xavier Cedeno joining column A. Both of those guys pitched in last night's game. Cedeno picked up 1 out. Column A picked up 3. Another close take, and Madsen's starting to say, where's this strike zone for everybody else?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Joe West is squeezing Ryan Madsen. There's no question. That ball clearly a strike. But he's one of those umpires that if you even give him a glare, you'll walk the yard. He won't call anything. Absolutely. This inning is not going to end well for Ryan Madsen.
That's a prediction.
Yes.
Sounds like a prediction.
Yes, it is.
Pierce has 4 RBIs and is 2 games back from the DL, coming back from that hamstring injury. Oh, Evan was leaning and he gets back. Evan actually took a misstep there, but was still able to get back.
Well, Ryan Madsen's been going with a high leg kick. I think Evan thinks that he can go. Certainly was thinking about it there.
On the ground, Simeon off his chest, still recovers in time for the double play.
Kidding me? That doesn't help the prediction.
Simeon had been picking up some errors recently, 5 in his last 8 games. That wasn't exactly smooth, but it worked out for the shortstop.
No, you're right. He got in front of it. That ball was well struck by Steve Pierce. Comes out of the glove, but a quick recovery and a nice glove flip to Lowry to get that double play turn.
Pierce did not play last night. That hamstring just a little fatigued after the Colorado series, playing back-to-back games after a short rehab assignment. So not sure if Pierce is still quite at 100% down the line. So here's Steven Souza Jr. 0 for 3 tonight. Pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Souza has struck out, grounded out, lined out his last time up. First time Madsen has faced Souza. Rays and the A's both with 5 hits and no runs. We're in the 9th. And a 1-1 count. Rays had scored 28 runs in their past 3 games before tonight. They have been locked down by Sean Manaea. And now the ball in the 9th inning handed to Ryan Madsen. What a performance by the 24-year-old left-hander out of Indiana State. Back with you tomorrow, 1 hour or half an hour earlier, 1 hour earlier, 8:30 pregame show. 9:07 first pitch. Drew Smiley, Kendall Graveman, 1 hour earlier tomorrow from Oakland. This used to be a place, a house of horrors back in the early days for the Rays. They've been playing better baseball here more recently. 2-1 pitch is fouled away. It's 2-2.
Yeah, this place is not a lot of fun for most teams that come in here. The crowd can get raucous. Definite home field advantage here for the A's over the years.
Called third strike, outside corner. Souza goes down for the final out in the top of the 9th. We're scoreless heading to the bottom of the 9th. Scoreless. A's coming to bat. I don't think we have seen Jake Odorizzi any better than he was tonight.
No, I mean, much like Minaya, you want him, if you're the opposition, you want him out of the game. That's how good he was. I'll tell you, he allowed one base runner past first base. And that was because of an error that led to that. Other than that, it was everything working for Jake Odorizzi. There was the big one there, the full count slider to retire Danny Valencia as a pinch hitter with runners on first and third, but everything was working. The changeup was good enough. The fastball was excellent. He located that pitch so well all night and was very strategic with his use of the curveball and the slider. 8 shutout innings. He was, like you said, as good as we've seen it.
Gets another no decision, though. Deserves better for sure. And Xavier Cedeno takes over.
It's really amazing how 21 starts into a season, he has 9 decisions. That's it. 9. He's 4-5. 21 starts.
Leads the major leagues in no decisions. Adds to that total tonight. Cedeno faces the top of the order. Coco Crisp turns around and bats right-handed for the first time. Grounds one back to the pitcher. Stabs it in the air on one hop and underhands it for the first out. Hey, the Rays will switch their cleats to cowboy boots for the Hunter Hayes postgame concert on Saturday, July 30th. For that night only, Budweiser and Bud Light 20-ounce beers will be only $5. For tickets to see the Rays battle the Yankees and to see the concert as well, call 888-VAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com today. Rays up. Cowboy Joe's hoping to be on that game. Joe West, the home plate umpire. Josh Reddick, the batter, 0 for 3 against Odorizzi. And he has struggled this year against left-handers. Takes a called strike, 0-1. See, Josh lined out his last time up. On the season, he is batting just 172 against lefties. Down to the count, 0-2.
Big reason why is that right there. You go to the left-on-left breaking ball, and you can see how awkward the swing was by Reddick.
All 10 hits against lefties have been singles this year. Cedeno struck him out in a 7-pitch at bat last night. Only batter Xavier faced. 0-2. Did not chase. Thought about it. It's 1-2. Chris Davis is on deck. There is a righty warming in the Rays bullpen, Erasmo Ramirez. Ramirez faced Davis last night. In the air, slice to left field. Brandon Guyer eases towards the foul line. In foul territory, makes the catch, and that's 2 away. So Reddick now 0 for 4. Erasmo hit Chris Davis last night when he faced him.
Chris Davis.
And Kevin Cash is going to stay with the left-hander Xavier Cedeno here. Or is he? He just wanted to give Erasmo a couple extra beats to throw some pitches, and now he's going to jog out of the dugout and go righty on righty with Chris Davis due up with 2 outs as the game-winning run at the plate. We're scoreless. FS1 is back with a big-time doubleheader. All-star backstop Buster Posey and the Giants battle the Yankees. Then the Rangers tangle with the Royals in a game you can only see on FS1. Action begins at 4 o'clock Eastern on FS1 or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Taking over, 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the ninth is Erasmo Ramirez.
Well, he's on for the 39th time. He's worked 56 2/3. Want to make it a clean 57 here.
This is the batter, or one of the 2 batters he faced last night. Erasmo came on in a 7-3 game and allowed a single to Danny Valencia and then hit Chris Davis with the first pitch, and then he was out of the game. Swing and a miss. Erasmo ahead, 0-2. That's one thing you're going to get from Erasmo, is you know he's going to pound the zone.
Yeah, and you know what? Keep the ball moving away from Chris Davis, because that front side was leaking right up the third base line. He really, the last, a couple times we've seen him swing here tonight, anything middle in's the only thing he has a chance on.
Called third strike, outside corner. Erasmo Ramirez paints it up, and we're headed to extra innings. Nobody has scored as we head to the 10th. Presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Rays and A's from across the bay in Oakland. Top half of the 10th inning we go. Rays are 2-1 in extra innings this year. The A's are 3-3, and they bring on a guy having a stellar season, Ryan Dull.
Well, on for the 44th time, and you can see the numbers. More than a strikeout an inning, an ERA just north of 2. On an average of 151. He has been anything but.
Dull. Nice.
That's it.
Corey Dickerson, Tim Beckham, Kevin Kiermaier to face the young right-hander. Big swing, no contact. Corey Dickerson wanted to score the first run of the game in an emphatic fashion.
When doesn't he? Maybe not the first run of the game, but he that's the norm right there. Corey Dickerson with a little helicopter handoff.
Nothing in 2. Dull features fastball, slider, changeup. He'll throw that changeup, as you would imagine, a lot more to left-handers. That slider is a big weapon against righties. Almost half his pitches to righties are that slider. Ryan Madsen, the closer of this team, said if he was chosen for the All-Star game, he would have said Ryan Dull deserves it. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 1 out.
And just a completely dominant sequence right there. Change up to start off, paint the outside corner, and then climb the ladder. 3 completely different looks, 1 out.
Now batting, shortstop, Tim Beckham.
Here's Tim Beckham, singled in the 5th, an infield hit. 1 for 3. Dole has been better as the season has gone along. His ERA since May 25th is 0.72. And those numbers you saw earlier with his ERA, a lot of that was early in the season. And it doesn't even talk about what he did with inherited runners, which is strand the first 36 inherited runners he had this year. How about that?
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. That is some kind of stat too, because those are somebody else's run. That's somebody else's ERA.
He has been one of those unsung heroes. You don't hear much about a guy like Ryan Dole, but then you look at what he has done, and had he been chosen for the All-Star game, no one would have thought twice, because he has put up quite a season. Nothing in 2.
Well, the name doesn't help.
No. And vote got in. There's a lot of voting in the All-Star game.
Especially this year. This is the year. Big year.
This year was a year where Stephen Vogt represented the A's, Alex Colomé represented the Rays, and those were the only 2 teams whose players didn't see action in the All-Star game. On the National League side, Terry Collins chose not to use any Mets. Those were the only 3 teams.
In a game that you have to win to get home field advantage. Very important. We win that game.
1-2 the count on Beckham. But had Dull gone, maybe that could have freed up a spot for Evan Longoria, but Vogt went in as the 3rd catcher, and Colomé went in for the Rays. Fouled back, stays 2-2.
Gonna make Tim Beckham beat him to right field.
Yep.
See where he's been pitching him. Not gonna leave him anything in that he can turn and burn on. If you want a base hit, you're gonna go to the big part of the field.
Hey, we saw Logan Morrison there a moment ago. He got a little injection today for that sore forearm. Probably not available tonight, but should be ready to go for tomorrow's contest. On the ground, off the glove, but foul. Foul, says Mark Ripperger.
You know, that's a mistake by Dole. That ball, he doesn't want that ball coming in. That's the mistake where you're hoping that Tim Beckham can capitalize on as this ball comes middle in, and he rips this thing down the line. Ripperger right on top of it, and he has that foul off the edge of the glove. That was close.
Beckham couldn't believe it. Two and 2. Both starting pitchers outstanding tonight. In the air, popped up. Simeon calling off his outfielders, and the A's shortstop puts it away, 2 outs.
Now batting center fielder Kevin Kiermaier.
2 outs, nobody on. Kevin Kiermaier will bat. Dull faced the Rays one time in that series back in May at Tropicana Field. And he was perfect at an inning and a third. He struck out every batter he faced. Misses down low, 1-0. Kiermaier singled, reached as far as third base. Both teams have had one runner reach third base in this game. Yonder Alonso in the 8th for the A's, and Kevin Kiermaier in the top half of that 8th for the Rays. Strike called, 1-1. Sean Manaea and Jake Odorizzi both went 8 innings of shutout baseball. Hit hard on the line, but Josh Reddick is right there, hardly has to move. Well hit by Kiermaier, but right at the A's right fielder. We head to the bottom of the 10th. Bottom half of inning number 10. Jake Odorizzi, 26-year-old out of Illinois. Sean Manaea, 24-year-old out of Indiana. Both went 8 innings. Both allowed 5 hits. Both allowed no walks and no runs. It's all up to the bullpens now. Erasmo Ramirez to Stephen Vogt to start the bottom of the 10th. Called strike, 0-1. Vogt 0 for 3. Popped up his last time. Was robbed of a base hit by Logan Forsythe. And hit a line drive his first time up. Right at Stephen Pierce. And now Erasmo ahead 0-2.
Good time to pull out the changeup. You've got a antsy hitter up there. Takes a fastball for strike 1. Wants to do some damage. Pull the string. Now you're 0-2.
Fans in the outfield believe in Stephen Vogt. Vogt 0 for 4 in his career with a couple of strikeouts against Erasmo. Barely got a piece of that somehow. That was a check swing, excuse me, foul.
And that bat ended up hanging out in the strike zone a little bit too long. And there you go. I was wondering if Erasmo Ramirez could get one more necklace on. He's done a pretty good job here tonight.
1, 2, 3.
Just one more. That's aggressive.
Probably one more. He's got the 3. He might have a 4th necklace, actually. Hard to tell.
One hiding out in there somewhere.
Yeah. In the air, soft serve, center field. Longoria's going to make the call. Out of the shift. Evan was back there in a hurry.
Yeah, and I think everybody's wanting Tim Beckham to get out of the way. I mean, he came hard charging on Evan Longoria right there. You could see him starting to peel away like, you know, just watch.
It's like a wide receiver around here.
Yep, and now he's seeing Beckham coming like, hey, hey, hey.
We need to give Tim a word that everybody knows. I'm not going to catch this.
Yeah, when the other guy yells mine or I got it, you can vacate at that point.
1 out, nobody on. Here's Jed Lowry. Line drive, center field. Kiermaier makes the play. That ball hung up and Kiermaier goes to the ground for the 2nd out. That was hit too well.
That ball was powdered. That hurt Kiermaier's hand too.
Oh no, don't say that.
Now batting.
No, he's fine. But that, I mean, the ball gets hit that hard and you come in and catch it in the wrong spot, it's not going to feel real good. Oh, that he caught it right in the palm. Right in the palm. You better believe that hurts.
Ow.
Look at this. No webbing there. I mean, if he's not catching one with his sternum, now he's catching it with his palm.
That was hit so hard it stayed up, and yeah, a little bit of soreness there on the palm for Kevin Kiermaier. So 2 outs, nobody on. Jake Smolinski has 2 of the 5 hits tonight for the A's. Tries to hold up, and he did. 1-0. According to Kerwin Danley. See Smolinski, what he has done. Came over from the Rangers. Limited playing time 2 years ago. Had a great year for Texas. Slow chopper towards short. Beckham on the 3rd hop. Sidearm throw in time, and that'll do it for the A's. Erasmo has retired all 4 he has faced. We head to 11. Orioles. Presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Beautiful night. Got a little chillier as the night has progressed, but still comfortable here as we head to the 11th. Late night with the Rays from Oakland Coliseum.
There it is, baby. That's the best one.
That's the one you like?
I love that.
The tribute to Raleigh
You
Fingers.
look so happy, and with that mustache, it just, that's
Leroy Neiman.
Hey.
Daniel Mengden.
Here's a big fan.
Yeah. How about him? He's the only starter in the Oakland rotation we won't see in this series. I figure you'd like that, though. That's a little ode to Raleigh Fingers.
Yeah, that's legit.
1-1 the count to Brad Miller, pinch hitting here for Luke Maley to lead off the top half of the 11th. Brad did not get the start against the lefty tonight. Raleigh Fingers, number 34, alongside Catfish Hunter in the upper right field section of what is known as Mount Davis here, that tarped off area way up top of the Oakland Coliseum. See what Miller has done. One more home run would be a franchise mark for a shortstop. And now the count's 2-2. Miller pinch hitting for Maley, then back to the top of the order. Logan Forsythe and Brandon Geyer against Ryan Dull. He's retired all three he has faced so far, and now all four.
Wow, fell behind and then got aggressive with the fastball to put away Brad Miller. You're not going to see that very often.
Now batting, second baseman, Logan Forsythe.
So Dull now has retired all 8 batters he has faced this season against the Rays, and he has struck out 6 of them. And now Logan Forsythe will bat. Logan looking for his first hit. He has lined out a couple of times. The first batter of the game, and then again in the 8th. Foul back. Ten innings of baseball, and both teams had 5 hits. Not much offense tonight. Of the 10 hits combined from Bob Melvin's team and Kevin Cash's team, they have all been singles. Not one extra base hit as we play here in the 11th. Logan down to the count 1-2.
Yeah, a sharp departure from what the Rays had been doing the last 3 games where they've scored 28 runs on the strength of tons of extra base hits. That's what happens, though, when you get a starter that pitches extremely well. And we had 2 of those here tonight. The bullpens have followed up as well. Pitches are being made time and again.
Brandon Geyer, 1 for 4 tonight, waiting on deck. Infield hit. Eleventh inning baseball, 1 out, nobody on. Popped in the air, shallow right center. Reddick coming on strong, and the A's right fielder puts it away. Dull has retired all 5 he has faced. Dull is a 26-year-old who pitched with the A's last year.
Now batting, left
13
fielder,
games.
Brandon Geyer.
Some success, but really came on this year and has become a dominant setup man, and tonight trying to go at least 2 innings here in extras against the Rays. 2 outs, nobody on. Geyer takes away 1-0. Sharply hit through the hole between third and short. Brandon Geyer, 2-out base runner for the Rays here in the 11th.
Yeah, and you get Longoria to the plate once again here with 2 outs. Nice job by Brandon Geyer. They had that defense pulled around on him, and he just able to get out there, hit this ball hard, and find an opening.
See what Evan can do here with 2 outs in the Rays with a runner on first base. Evan did face Ryan Dull in that series in May. Dull was able to strike him out. Inside corner, 0-1. Manaea for 8. Ryan Madsen pitched the 9th. Ryan Dull trying to get through the 11th. On the ground, Simeon to second, and the Rays are stopped in the top of the 11th. Still looking for the game's first run. AK ensues. Here is what happens during a long inning. Who's the guy that gets bored more easily?
I know I have some sort of ADD or something along those lines. I can't sit still. I want to be moving around, run back in the dugout. So long innings out there, they kill me. Every time we do pitching changes, I drop to a knee. That helps me just take my mind off everything. So I get restless out there. I need to be moving around. So I'm going to take that over you.
I do the same thing.
Take a knee?
Yes. And when I see Cash pop out of the dugout, I just am like, come on, go down to a knee. Try to work it out. Especially when he does it with 2 outs, nobody on, and the guy's been dealing.
That's when you take a knee.
Oh, I take a knee and
take
mumble.
a 30.
I mumble things.
That's where you hit
me on
mute.
the air. Yeah, hit the mute button.
Yonder Alonso leads off the bottom half of the 11th. Erasmo Ramirez got the final out of the 9th at Erasmo, and then he pitched a perfect 10th, and now starting the 11th. He begins the 11th with bullpen action for the Rays. Kevin Jepson starts to loosen. 1-2 count to Alonso. On the ground through the shift. Alonso, a leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the 11th.
They tried to come right there with the backdoor breaking ball, and Alonso was able to pull it and just find that opening. Ball away. Shoots it out into right field, and now tighten some things up here. Do the same thing, playing the shift or a heavy shade here on Ryan Healy.
Around the bunt, gets it down. Quickly on it is Pierce. He'll flip to Forsythe, but a successful sacrifice for the rookie third baseman. And now the first at bat of the night for a guy who started all 96 games this year until tonight. Marcus Semien came on after Arismendi Alcantara was pinch hit for in the bottom of the 8th. And now gets his first at bat. Double barrel action as Eddie Romero joins Kevin Jepson. Semien has faced Erasmo Ramirez 7 times. He is 0 for 7 with 2 strikeouts. Foul bat. Good rip. Well, you spend every day of the season as the starting shortstop. Tonight, for the first time, you're asked to come off the bench and you come out swinging.
You got a hanging breaking ball. I mean, that ball was, you're not going to get a better pitch in this at bat than what you just got.
Fortunately, he was not able to put it into play. And now Erasmo ahead 0-2. Away 1-2. Just the second time tonight Oakland has had a runner in scoring position. Had a runner in scoring position, 2 outs in the 8th after an error kept an inning alive. And now Alonso on second base, 1 out in the 11th. Staying alive with 2 strikes. Erasmo's now going to have a little conference with Kurt Casale.
Well, you're trying to figure out what you want to do now. They wanted that fastball up. Erasmo got it there. Semien able to spoil it. Comes down to execution.
Inside, 2-2. Good at bat by Semien. 6 pitches in. Inside, gets away. No. Dead ball, says Joe West. Runner goes back to second. That's going to be called a foul ball.
Well, Semien not really saying anything.
Casale was going after it, but kind of turned his head at the same time saying, hey, that's a foul ball.
Was it?
I couldn't see there.
Yeah, nothing definitive from that angle.
On the ground, Longoria on one big hop. Looks the runner to second. Throws across for the second out. Big out there for Erasmo. 2 down now in the 11th. And Jim Hickey is going to take a visit to the mound as his reliever has had to work hard here in the 11th inning. That was an unusual play. It was tough to tell if the ball hit the bat, but then Semien didn't say
yeah,
anything.
that's the thing. You go back to him, and if that had missed the bat, I mean, he would have been letting Joe West know. That did not, you would have seen something.
That would have changed everything. The infield would have come in, and maybe the contact play, they try and send the runner, who knows. But fortunately for the Rays, it was a foul ball. Joe West goes and breaks up the conference.
Now batting for the Athletics, left fielder Coco Crisp.
So now with 2 outs, Erasmo Ramirez will deal with Coco Crisp. See what Coco's done tonight, 0 for 4. 3 of those at bats batting left-handed. Grounded out against Xavier Cedeno, batting right-handed. He is 2 for 14 in his career against Erasmo Ramirez. Big swing, no contact on the breaking on the changeup, nothing in 1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. A little bit inside, 2-1. Erasmo has now faced 8 batters. You see his pitch count approaching 30. He has retired 6 of the previous 7. Would rather not see Josh Reddick. May not either way, as a lefty. Eddie Romero is warming up. Inside, and now Erasmo's behind 3-1.
You want to make a pitch, but nothing too good here. I mean, at the end of the day, the crisp run means absolutely nothing. So don't give in.
Low ball 4. Ramirez walks Coco Crisp. First and second, 2 outs.
Right fielder, Josh.
You've got a lefty warming in the bullpen. Josh Reddick has struggled against lefties. And Kevin Cash is going to call on Eddie Romero. We have a pitching change here. Romero comes in. 2 outs. 2 on. 11th inning. He's responsible for those 2 runners on. And don't forget, tomorrow night we'll be back with you with Drew Smiley, trying to get back on track. Be on the air at 8:30 with our Rays Live pregame show. First pitch, 9:07. Smiley against Kendall Graveman tomorrow will be game 3 of this 4-game extended weekend series. On to pitch for the Rays now, though, trying to keep things in place is the big left-hander, Eddie Romero. Needs to throw strikes here. That is the issue with Eddie. If he throws strikes, you're in good shape.
Yeah, he's got tremendous stuff. The mid-90s fastball, very good slider. But yes, the key is throwing strikes. And there are times where he comes in, cannot find the zone. Other times he comes in, he's a world beater.
Mentioned Reddick has struggled against lefties, but he needs to pour a strike in. And now it's 2-0. See the numbers, the splits, huge difference.
Well, if you were ever going to set for a fastball, this would be it. 2-0 on a couple of breaking balls.
3-0.
Yeah, this is one of those times. It has not been close. And he's gone with 3 straight breaking balls, all of them right to the dirt. You can see the concern on the faces of the Rays coaching staff.
This will be the only batter that Romero faces with a righty due up at Chris Davis and Kevin Jepsen warm. 3-0. There's a strike. Outside, ball 4. That's your fear with Eddie Romero. You like the lefty on lefty matchup, but he has to find the zone. Unable to do so, and now Kevin Jepsen's going to inherit a bases loaded 2-out situation.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Remember this about Kevin Jepsen. Good fastball, good velocity. The curveball. He throws the curveball with max effort. And how many times do we see him bounce those curveballs well short of the catcher and well short of home plate? Can't do that here with that runner on third.
Here is Wakoko Chris. Pitching change. Eddie Romero comes in. He walks Josh Reddick on 5 pitches. And now Kevin Jepsen, in his second tour of duty with the Rays, comes on. Those numbers are combined between Minnesota and Tampa Bay, but he has been much better since joining the Rays.
Yeah,
He's only allowed 1 run so far since becoming a Ray, and even that run, you know, his battery mate Kirk Casale will tell you on a strikeout wild pitch, if he had smothered that, it might not have even been a run because that allowed a runner to get the scoring position.
Well, that's what you need here. You need Jepsen's got to come in. He's got to be in the strike zone. There's no margin for error. Casale's got to be ready to block the curveball.
The book, you know, we just got to check the book. That's fine. I think I had a streak there of like about 9 or 10 wins in a row. Yeah, I mean, you know, KK's biggest problem is that he's not worried about beating me. And when you're not worried about beating the opponent, you're obviously susceptible to a lot of different items. You know, some rocks, some paper, and some scissors. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one.
Hopefully we get a chance to see that tonight, only after a Rays win. Chris Davis will be the hitter against Kevin Jepsen. Davis has never faced Jepsen in his career. See what he has done tonight. He's just 4 of 29 against the Rays. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Ground ball towards short. Beckham, easy to second. That will do it in the 11th. Jepsen gets out of a bases loaded situation. We head to inning 12. Still scoring. Rays nothing, Athletics nothing. MLS Soccer Sunday returns this week with a red-hot rivalry. Don't miss when David Villa and New York City FC battle their crosstown rivals, the New York Red Bulls, at 12:30 Eastern Time on Fox, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. We head to the 12th with the fourth pitcher of the night for the Oakland A's. John Axford takes over.
First baseman, Steve Pearce.
Axford, you see his numbers on the year, has struggled a little bit more recently. 14 runs allowed in his last 16 games. That is an 11-12 ERA during that stretch.
Yeah, the Rays would love to see that continue.
And here's a guy who has a lot of success against Axford, Steve Pearce, 4 for 6 in his career against the Oakland right-hander. Takes one away, 1-0. 4 for 6 with a walk and a strikeout. All singles. Pearce today 1 for 4 in his third game back off the DL. Got the rest yesterday. And he's ahead of the count. 2-0 to start this 12. 2 games remain in Major League Baseball tonight. This game in the 12th and the Dodgers at the Cardinals in the 15th. They are tied at 3. Here's a bullet to center field, but it's holding up, and Smolinski gets there for the first out of the 12th. Well struck, but nothing to show for it.
Now batting, right fielder.
Not a lot of offense
Steven
tonight, obviously,
Souza
with the score,
Jr.
and even on not a lot of threats. 6 hits for both sides. Rays have had 2 runners in scoring position. A's last inning got the bases loaded. Prior to that, they had 1 runner in scoring position. So there have not been a lot of threats. Here's Steven Souza Jr. Thought about a bunt. He thought about a bunt back in the 7th with a runner on first and nobody out.
You think about something else.
It's late night with the Rays.
Yeah, think about like a bomb. That's what I'm thinking. I'll tell you, the pitching, you talk about the lack of threats on both sides tonight offensively. It's because of the pitching. The pitching's been very, very good on both sides. Obviously, 0-0 in the 12th.
Rays had scored 28 runs in the previous 3 games, but tonight they have been shut down through the first 11 1/3. High fly ball, foul territory, long run for Alonso, and he will make the over-the-shoulder grab right on the side of the pitcher's mound. Souza now 0 for 5.
You got to go a long way, and then you've got the mound starting to come into play here. And yonder Alonso just watches that ball in over the shoulder, makes a nice catch.
So 2 outs, the base is cleared, and Corey Dickerson will see Axford for the first time. Dickerson with a home run in last night's game, also a sacrifice fly. Tonight 1 for 4. Breaking ball 1-0. Pearce lined to center on a 2-0 fastball, hit it hard, but right at the center fielder Smolinski. Away, 2-0. With that 2-0 fastball to Pearce, he has now thrown a fastball in a 2-0 count as Axford 34 out of 35 times this year. Maybe Corey Dickerson can sit dead red and put a big swing on one here. Low, 3-0. Now Corey's got an interesting situation. Does he get the green light here? Might as well.
Absolutely you do.
Try and break this scoreless tie with 2 outs in the 12th. See if he gets a pitch to hit. on the outer half and away. So 4-pitch walk. Not exactly a pitch around, but he didn't want to challenge him there.
No. And after he fell behind 2-0, he's going to be very, very careful. You know, try with the borderline pitches, get Corey Dickerson to go out of his comfort zone. He didn't do that, but you're right. With his kind of power, a right-hander on deck, got to be careful there. But Tim Beckham, who's got a hit tonight, has been hot lately.
Upstairs, 1-0. Rays have already used Brad Miller as a pinch hitter back in the 11th. They really don't have any other shortstops available, so even though Logan Morrison is on the bench, more than likely he wasn't going to be used anyhow tonight. So Beckham gets the at-bat here against Axford. Plus, he's been one of the hottest Rays the last 3 games. High strike, 1-1. Colome if the Rays take the lead. Dylan Floro if this game stays tied. One pitch hammered to center field. Smolinski goes back, makes the play. Another hard hit line drive, but right at the A center fielder, just a few steps back from his position. Bottom of the 12th we go. Still no runs, 6 hits for both sides. Rays have a new pitcher on here in the bottom half of the 12th inning, facing the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Dylan Floro.
Well, Dylan Floro is now on for the 6th time. Like some of the work that he has done, not afraid to challenge guys, has fit well into that Rays bullpen. And he'll look to keep it going
Now
here
batting for the Athletics,
in tonight's ball game, where pitching has been at a premium.
The first base, Stephen Vogt. Vogt still looking for his first hit tonight. 0 for 4, popped up his last time up. Floro takes over for Kevin Jepson, who got up a big bases-loaded 2-out jam to keep this game alive in the 11th. 0-1 to count on Vogt. Chopper off the plate, tough play, Floro, he gets there. If that ball bounces, it's trouble. Good job by Dylan to get it on the one big hop, and there's 1 out, unassisted for the pitcher.
now batting second baseman, Chad Lowry.
Floro is from Merced, California, which is about 100 miles or so away from Oakland. So basically this is the closest stadium for him growing up. Now he will face, with one out and nobody on, Jed Lowry. There's a called strike. So it was Jake Odorizzi for 8, Xavier Cedeno for 2/3 of an inning, Erasmo Ramirez for 2 innings. And then after a walk by Eddie Romero, Kevin Jepson for the final out of the 11th. Counts 0-2 on Lowry. Crowd didn't like that last call by Joe West.
We can see Fox Tracks wasn't a big fan of it either, down and off the plate. But Dylan Floro jumping out ahead, 1-2 count.
Fastball upstairs. Rays really like his fastball. A lot of fastball slider, an occasional change, but mostly fastball slider.
He's got quick arm action. You know, he kind of has a short stride and then really lets that hand work out in front. You see he gets some late action on it, but 3 straight out of the zone. Now we got a full count.
Needs to come in with one here to Jed Lowry.
A little twist right there. See how he tries to stay out over that stiff front leg. Let the arm work.
Ground ball up the middle. Forsythe was shaded over towards the first base bag, and that finds its way into right center field.
Now batting, center fielder Jake Smolinski.
Lowry, a 1-out base runner. Jake Smolinski bats for the 5th time.
And 7 2/3 innings. Dylan Floro has given up 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts. So we'll see. Not going to probably do anything here. 1 out. Smolinski, who's been swinging the bat well.
Lowry has not attempted a steal this year. Pitches a little bit inside, 1-0. A's now lead in the hits category 7-6. We're in the 12th. There have not been many scoring opportunities for either side all evening long. Floro behind 2-0. On deck is Yonder Alonso. Had been a starter his entire career until this year. Moved into the bullpen at AAA Durham, fouled at the plate. It's 2-1.
And maybe swinging at ball 3. You know, when you start thinking about swinging at a 2-0 fastball, you want that thing center cut out over the plate. That one off the plate, down and in. Smolinski lets him back into the count.
Just a half swing, and it gets by Forsythe. Actually, he stops it. Now playing at second, safe. Forsythe, a great job keeping that ball out of the outfield, and almost got the runner Lowry spinning around second.
You know, that's a play that's not going to go into the scorebook at all. That's a great play by Logan Forsythe. That little half swing by Smolinski, if it gets by Logan, it's 1st and 3rd. But look at this effort. Look at the dive. He's diving towards right field. And then to top it off, he pops up and almost gets Lowry. What an effort on a play. Boy, oh boy.
You know, the shift is going to help out Rays pitchers more often than it hurts, but in this inning, it has definitely not helped out Dylan Floro.
I've seen the shift beat this year more than, I mean, it gets beat all the time now. And I'm not saying the Rays shift. I mean the shift in general. You see a lot of these guys that aren't big power guys that say, you know what, if you're going to give me an open alley, you know, and I get the right pitch, I'm gonna take it that way. We see that more and more.
So now 2 on, 1 out. And Floro will have to face Yonder Alonso. Alonso singled, reached on a fly ball that was dropped by Kevin Kiermaier. Grounded into a double play and popped up. 1 for 4. Away, 1-0. It's all Dylan Floro right now. The rookie right-hander has this game because nobody's warming in the Rays bullpen.
And the Rays have moved that outfield, moved their outfielders in just a hair. You're thinking about a base hit, come up throwing, try to get the runner at the plate.
Way outside, 2-0.
And
on deck is the rookie Ryan Healy. Floro in one of the biggest spots of his career. Tie game, 12th inning. 2 on, 1 out. Needs to come in with a strike. Ground ball back to Floro. Throws to second, low. Beckham to first in time, and a big double play turned by the Rays. Wow, that was huge. The right-hander out of Merced, California gets out of a jam there, and we head to the 13th. Still scoreless. More late night with the Rays from the Oakland Coliseum. BA going strong out here in Oakland.
yeah, well, listen, you have to.
What are your options?
You don't have any. You don't have any. It's getting late. Nobody's scored.
Kevin Kiermaier leads off. We're in the 13th. The Rays played a 13-inning game against Seattle back on June 15th. The A's have not played any games longer than this. This will be their longest of the season. And Kiermaier with a 1-1 count. Kiermaier, Kurt Casale, and back to the top of the order, Logan Forsythe.
Yeah, the last time that we played a game this long out here in Oakland, that's when you took that interesting ride on your scooter.
Did I?
You did. It was interesting to say the least.
We're not the only ones.
No. Look at that. Won't be long, we'll be there.
You know, this was people back in the East Coast. It's almost 1:30 now. They had a rain delay in Colorado, Denver, over half an hour the first game, and then about 2 hours the second game. So those were both after midnight. They thought, well, 9:30 Eastern start, we might get done. Actually, it was 9 o'clock Eastern start. We might get done around midnight. Neither of those games were close to it. Now tonight, this game was moving along. 0-0. Odorizzi, Minaya, boom, boom. Kiermaier strikes out. Axford gets the first out here in the 13th.
It actually still is moving along.
I mean, when you consider the amount of innings and the time of the game.
Yeah, well, you're talking about 3 hours and 15 minutes right now, and you're in the 13th.
Right.
That's a good pace.
It was a very good pace.
Now let's mix in there you go. That's a good one too. You know, all these photos yours are the best. Yours are the best. You're the scooter in the hallway.
That's not a good look. We were looking at that bridge the other night, just last night after dinner.
Yes, we were. How good was that?
That was good. Nice little meal on the non-TV night, overlooking
the Bay Bridge.
The Bay Bridge
Had the lights
and
going.
LED lights.
Yeah,
beautiful. Here's Curt Casale. He hasn't run into one in a while. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Right on cue. He was looking to right there.
Axford has replaced Ryan Dull, who replaced Ryan Madsen after 8 innings of work from the starter, Sean Manaea. So Axford now on his second full inning of work, 0-2 the count. Misses to Casale. Curt getting his first at bat tonight. He came on after Brad Miller pinch hit for Luke Maile in the top of the 11th. Luke does have the capability to go plenty deep here, but the Rays haven't hit many balls even close to the track or the wall. Curt Casale fouls one away. Stays 1-2. The Rays were getting 6 at-bats consistently in Colorado out of the top of their order just because they kept scoring runs. Tonight they will get 6 at-bats out of the top of their order because we're in the 13th.
And not scoring runs.
Stays alive, stays 1-2. These two teams have a lot in common, including not being able to score tonight. Both teams thought going in that their pitching would be in better shape. The A's have struggled with some injuries. The Rays have struggled with some injuries. On the ground towards third, Healy to his left, and there's 2 outs.
Well, you look at this Oakland A's ball club. Team ERA, 14th in the American League. The starters 14th with a 5.10. The bullpen, they were 11th, but they had thrown more innings than any other bullpen in the American League. 337 innings plus some more tonight. And then offensively, their offense really they don't do anything. I mean, no, and
case in point tonight.
This is what I mean. Yeah, outside of no runs tonight, they don't run a lot. They don't hit many home runs. They have the lowest on-base percentage in the American League. So they don't get on that much. They don't strike out that much. They don't really walk that much. I mean, they just don't do much. And tonight is a perfect example of that.
Hey, there's a ball through the shift. That works for the Rays' favor. Logan Forsythe hits one to the right side for a 2-out base hit.
Too often here tonight, the Rays' hits have come with 2 outs.
No doubt. Last inning, it was a 2-out walk to Corey Dickerson. The previous inning, it was a 2-out hit by Brandon Guyer. And back in the 5th, back-to-back hits with 2 outs.
2-out hit in the 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been the 2-out hit.
That's why we are sitting here at 0-0. 7 hits for the Rays, 8 hits for the A's. 2 of the Rays' 7 hits have come from this guy, Brandon Guyer. We have played 12 half innings on each side and still don't have an extra base hit. Now 13 for the Rays. No extra base hits. Uh-oh. That game is over.
We are now the focus of the baseball world, Todd.
Matt Adams walked it off against your buddy, Bud Norris.
Who's my buddy? Oh. Really?
Strike on the outside corner. I hate to be bearer of bad news, although you think I like giving bad news.
You do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You have a certain look and a certain smirk when you come in and you're like, oh, guys, hey, listen, I just want to let you know you're doing a post-game show tonight. And you have that look. You absolutely do.
Nothing in 1 to Guyer.
No, just like when you came in the other night to stir up Dwayne.
I knew it wasn't going to go well with the replay regulation. I knew that wasn't going to go well, but I have to disseminate information when I get it.
But right, and you didn't do it from anywhere but our booth.
Because
you came in behind him
I
and
need to see the
once
video.
He started talking about it, his head was going to snap, and then it was going to get weird in the booth and make it uncomfortable for everybody. And you did it anyway. You did it anyway.
I was trying to inform the viewers.
And then you scooted right out.
Well, I did do that.
Yep, right out.
I did do that.
Off you go. You let me clean up the mess.
I left the crime scene. 1-1 to count to Brandon Guyer.
I had to do the yellow tape around Dwayne's little area.
Chopped off his foot at the plate, and now it's 1-2. Well, Axford in his second inning of work. Dylan Floro is going to get another inning for the Rays. The Rays have no bullpen action. Rays have already used Xavier Cedeno, Erasmo Ramirez, Enny Romero, Kevin Jepson. So they are down to Matt Andriese and Alex Colomé. They still have a choice. They have a couple of lefties, Epchinski and Coulomb, Liam Hendricks, and although Zach Neal pitched 3 innings last night, he is available, but not really. 2-strike pitch. Guyer chases a high fastball, and that does it for the Rays in the 13th. The bearer of bad news. The Rays still don't have any more runs as we head to the bottom of the 13th. We head to the bottom of the 13th. It's kind of like the same smile with a lot of different pictures. And they all make you happy.
That's how you came into the booth to tell Dwayne about the ruling.
Those dog owners are happy. I'm not sure if that one dog's really thrilled with this game. I think he'd rather be at home right now, or she.
I think you're right.
They both would kind of.
Yeah, this one's nodding off.
No, that's one where the owners are sticking it through and the dogs are like, really? We've seen enough. 0-1 to Ryan Healy. We're in the bottom of the 13th. Dylan Floro on for his second inning of work. Healy 1 for 3, sacrificed his last time up. Floro got a big double play to get out of the 12th. He had first and second, 1 out, got a comebacker off the bat of Yonder Alonso. Threw low. Tim Beckham with a nice turn. This ball's ripped over Evan Longoria down the line and left. Healy's going to get 2 out of this one. And he's the leadoff base runner here in the 13th inning for the Oakland A's.
Now you start to think about Semien, potential bunt here. Try to get him to third with less than 2. That ball just hangs up middle in. And Healy all over it, gets it over the outstretched glove of Evan Longoria down into the corner. And the A's are in business.
Shortstop, Marcus Semien.
You mentioned the A's don't do a whole lot of different things. They also don't sacrifice a whole lot. Just 8 as a team this year. Marcus Semien does not have one of those 8. You look at teams that don't like to sacrifice. There are 2 teams that have fewer sacrifices. Boston with 3 and the Rays with 6. He is around the bunt. Called strike in the knees. 0-1.
It's the one that you never understand. If you're going to square around the bunt in that situation, you get a fastball down the middle. Benefit to the Rays. See Beckham there trying to keep Healy close.
A's had 1 runner in scoring position in the first 10 innings of this game. But now they've had the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 11th. First and second, 1 out in the 12th. And now a runner on second, no outs in inning 13. Try to get a chase there, but it's 1-2. Coco Crisp is on deck. Ground ball towards short. This will not move the runner. Beckham makes the play. 1 out.
Now that was after pulling the bunt back on a fastball down the middle,
Yep.
and then go to swinging, and just a complete waste of an at-bat there for Semien. Good for the Rays. They wanted to get that runner at third with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, that changes everything. If you
Sure
get the
does.
runner, then all of a sudden you think about who do you want to pitch to? Do you want to start intentionally walking guys? Instead, a runner on second. And now Floro will deal with Coco Crisp. Down low, 1-0. As you would imagine, with Floro just joining the Rays recently, none of these A's have ever seen him before. This will be the 7th batter he faces since coming on in the 12th. 2-0. Big swing and a miss there. 2 balls and a strike. Ryan Healy on second, 1 out. This is the longest game of the year for the A's at 13 innings. The Rays playing their 2nd of this length. Just missed the corner. It's now 3-1. You've got the dangerous Josh Reddick on deck. Showed you his splits earlier. He has feasted on right-handers this year. Line drive into left field. That's a base hit. Geyer fields. His throw is offline. The A's walk it off on Coco Crisp. RBI base hit to left.
The 3-1 is swung on line to left, base hit. Healy's the third. He's around third, up to the ball. Geyer
5th walk-off of the year for the Athletics,
and the A's have won it.
as Coco Crisp ends it with 1 out in the 13th inning.
Well, he gets a pitch that's away. The count's in his favor. And Coco Crisp, he knew it. Nice line drive into left field. Forced Brandon Geyer to move laterally. Now you got to come up throwing, and it's just not going to happen.
Good read by Healy at second. And he would score easily. Really not much of a chance at all for Brandon Geyer. And a night with very little offense ends with a base hit, another single. There was only 1 extra base hit in the whole game. And that was the double by Healy to lead off the 13th, and he would score the game's only run.
Totals for tonight's game.
A's win it 1-0 in 13 innings. They have now evened up the series at a game apiece. We are ready for our Rays Live post-game show, presented by Checkers. On a night where Sean Manaea and Jake Odorizzi traded zeros, it was the A's prevailing with a single run in the 13th inning on a Coco Crisp base hit to left. We'll be with you again tomorrow at 8:30 with our Rays Live pregame show. For everybody here in Oakland, stay tuned for Rays Live, the postgame show. Coming up next, Oakland wins 1-0 in 13.